All right, well, good evening, fans. Welcome in here on AudioSportsOnline.com. I'm Rob Kendall, along with Lek Zorn, as it is Week 8 of Indiana High School football. And tonight, your Avon Orioles, with a record of 3-4, will take on the Zionsville Eagles. And now we are, of course, heading towards sectional time. We know who that opponent will be here in a couple weeks. It will be the Brownsburg Bulldogs right here at Avon High School. And, Lek, it's really time to start cementing your team as you head towards the postseason.
That's right, Rob. It's been an up-and-down season so far for Avon. They entered the game with a record of 3-4, having gone undefeated last year until their first-round playoff loss.
Raise that mic up just a little bit.
Certainly. Avon has had a stellar offense all season long, led by senior superstar quarterback Henry Hessen, a Mr. Football candidate. However, in their 4 losses, which granted have all been to teams among the top 12 in the state, Avon has given up 52 points, and their opponents have averaged rushing 40 times in those games, averaging more than 5 yards a rush. So clearly fixing the rushing defense is the key in these last 2 regular season games. Today in their regular season finale against Zionsville, and then a week from tonight on the road at Noblesville. And, as you alluded to, Rob, Avon will open the playoff schedule at home 3 weeks from tonight against Brownsburg, currently the number 4 ranked team in the state. When the two teams met back in week 4, Brownsburg won by a score of 47-29. However, last year, of course, Avon beat Brownsburg in the regular season before losing to the Bulldogs to open the tournament. So certainly Avon would love to turn the tables again this year. And tonight will be a real test. Zionsville, last year, they were really the underdog team, maybe the biggest underdog team to win a sectional last year. It is considered all but given that the winner of that Avon-Brownsburg game was going to win that sectional. However, Zionsville ended up beating Brownsburg in a very big upset. So, you never know what's going to happen. That's why you play the game. But Avon, if they are able to fix that rushing defense over these next 2 weeks and are able to contain Brownsburg enough and get that first win, get that first round win, then they're going to actually have a shot to go a long way in the tournament. And I'll be talking more about the bracket at half because, after the first game against Brownsburg, it becomes fairly favorable toward Avon. So, it's still not too late to right the ship. And Avon, if they can right the ship on their rushing defense, then I think they have a good shot to go a long way because the offense has still been stellar. And if the offense gets in a position where they don't have to pass on nearly every play, where defenses aren't so geared to stop the pass and they have to work harder on containing the run, that's going to open up a lot of doors for Hessen and his outstanding core of receivers, including Wallace Stovall, Remington Gall, Joe Hall, and Cameron Mitchell. So certainly I still give Avon a chance to get the season turned around. And just a moment here.
All right, I'll thank the sponsors, Lek, while you look at the Wi-Fi. Andy Moore has you covered for all of your automotive needs. New, used parts or service, go to andymore.com where you get more for your money. And by Avon Orthodontics. Avon Orthodontics, the office of Greg Johnson and Nick Broussard, has been creating great smiles since 1995. And BSN Sports is a proud sponsor and official provider of uniforms, apparel, spirit wear, and equipment for Avon Athletics. And Chick-fil-A Avon, order on the app and skip the lines. Download Chick-fil-A One today. Again, I'm Rob Kendall, along with Lex Horn, coming to you tonight from Avon High School, your official home for Avon football broadcasts this year. Of course, thank you to Brad Holsinger, Lance Larkey, the entire Avon athletic staff, and the Avon School Corporation for putting these broadcasts together this year, working with us to put these broadcasts together this year and making it free of charge. Of course, many high schools across the state of Indiana, due to limited fan attendance, have been charging for their broadcast this year, but free of charge here at Avon High School, so you can enjoy that all year long as you have been tonight, and of course the band at halftime. All thanks to the Avon Athletic Department for putting this together, and the wonderful sponsors that you'll hear throughout our broadcast this evening. And Lek, as we've said all year long, it's pretty amazing. Other schools are charging. We've been able to do these for free because of those sponsors.
Yeah, and, I always encourage you to get out and support our sponsors, but I do so doubly this year because, this was such a tense off-season. Rob, and you and I both know, literally down into the last 4 or 5 days before the season started, we were uncertain about whether we were going to give the green light, first of all, to even have a season and then to do the broadcast. So thankfully the sponsors came through in a big way for us, and we've had outstanding viewership on audiosportsonline.com of our Avon broadcast. So thanks to you, the fans, for tuning in. Both those of you who normally would have been here but, stayed away because of the health concerns, and those of you who would not have been able to be here anyway, like maybe grandparents who live out of state, things like that. So, it's been a great honor and pleasure to bring these games to you. And this is my 9th year with audiosportsonline.com. This is about my 5th year covering Avon games. And this has been like a second home to me, and I've always been given such a gracious, warm welcome by the staff here. They've been very helpful, even down to the last few minutes, just getting me the Wi-Fi password. So, it's just great that we're able to bring you these games for free. And, Avon, being a perennial top 10, often top 5 team in recent years, last year a number 1 team for 8 weeks, it's big schools like that you really expect are going to charge. But, it's great that it says a lot about the character of this athletic department that they want to make these games available for free to all you fans out there.
We've still got about 19 minutes up on the clock. As you can see, some of the Avon players beginning to head towards the locker room. Some of the Avon players still on the field. We'll pan our camera over there so you can take a look at that. And big game for the Orioles tonight, 3-4 on the year. Obviously, they'd like to be a little bit better than that. But as Coach Bless has often said throughout the years, it's not where you start the season, it's where you end it. And obviously for Avon, they'd like to end by getting a couple wins in the regular season with a winning record, and then take on the Brownsburg Bulldogs in a couple weeks. Just a couple of reminders if you're heading out to the ball game tonight. The Avon Athletic Department does ask that you please wear a mask. Mask up. That is something as part of getting into the games this year. You can see many people doing it. We see many people doing it, and they ask that you do so as well. So if you're coming out tonight, watching us during the pregame, still got some time to get out. If you've got your ticket, I believe it's I know it was long sold out. So if you don't already have a ticket, you can't get in. But if you're one of those people coming out tonight, make sure to bring your mask. Again, Rob Kendall, Lex Zorn, coming to you tonight from Avon High School, where the Orioles will take on the Zionsville Eagles. We also want to thank BSN Sports, a proud sponsor and official provider of uniforms, apparel, spiritwear, and equipment for Avon Athletics. I want to thank as well LM Spirit Gear. Need apparel for your favorite team? Find us online at lmspiritgear.com. And Avon Oral Surgery, I'd like to wish all Avon athletes good luck this year. Go Orioles. And the Beacon Sign Company, the official sign company for Avon Sports. And BJ's Restaurant. Hungry? How about BJ's Restaurant Avon? Come visit us after the game for Pizza and Pazookies. Proud sponsor of Avon Athletics. Go Orioles. Go ahead, Leck.
Oh, so anyway, right now let's take a look at these two teams that we're getting ready to see tonight. Now, Avon and Zionsville both enter the game at 3-4. However, Avon is a 6A team. Zionsville, the only 5A team left here in the Hoosier Crossroads Conference. Now, so far this season, Avon has rushed 215 times and passed 170. That's a ratio of 1.26 to 1. A relatively low rush pass ratio. I mean, usually Indiana high school teams have about a 2 to 1, 3 to 1 rush pass ratio. But Avon is no ordinary team, especially in offense. Their starting quarterback is senior Henry Hessen. So far this season, he has completed 106 out of 162 passes for 1,859 yards, 23 touchdowns, only 5 interceptions. That's an astounding nearly 5 to 1 touchdown interception ratio. He has a core of 4 upperclassmen to throw to, led by senior Wallace Stovall, who has 40 receptions for 631 yards and 7 touchdowns. Fellow senior Remington Gall has 28 receptions for 555 yards and 9 touchdowns. Junior Joe Hall, maybe the biggest surprise among the receivers this season. He has 20 receptions for 431 yards and 6 touchdowns. And senior Carmelo Mitchell, arguably the team's best receiver last season, limited to 4 games this season, but still having some success with 13 receptions for 231 yards and 1 touchdown. On the ground, Avon also has a solid attack. Junior Krishan McCray leads the way with 77 rushes for 471 yards and 5 touchdowns. Sophomore Jaden James, very promising, showing some future for the program with 26 rushes for 164 yards and 2 touchdowns, while the quarterback, Henry Hessen, also capable on the ground with 62 rushes for 214 yards and 2 touchdowns. Meanwhile, Zionsville on the season, 231 rushes, 140 passes. That's a 1.65 to 1 rush pass ratio. They don't have as spectacular an offense, though. Their starting quarterback, senior Josh Stone, has done a solid job. 84 passes, 144 yards, he's completed 84 of 140 passes for 1,010 yards, 9 touchdowns, and 7 receptions. His leading receiver is senior Luke Baumgartner with 25 receptions for 353 yards and 2 touchdowns. Senior Miles Cox with 18 rushes for 192 passes, 18 receptions for 192 yards and 2 touchdowns. Also a very promising freshman coming down the turnpike, Gunnar Hartvig. He has 10 receptions for 111 yards and 2 touchdowns, and senior Nick Chisholm has 8 receptions for 101 yards and 1 touchdown. On the ground, Zionsville is led by junior Colin Price, who has 119 rushes for 767 yards and 6 touchdowns, while senior Jacob Horton has 68 rushes for 236 yards and 1 touchdown. And quarterback Josh Stone, also senior, as I said earlier, 39 rushes for 243 yards and 4 touchdowns. Avon's head coach, just a moment here. Avon's head coach is Mark Bless, who's 87-37 in his 11th year with the Orioles, 236 and 104 in his 31st season overall. One of the true living legends here in the state of Indiana. He previously coached at Mooresville and North Vermillion. And at that, we will pause for the national anthem, as our Alexa Argolis, an Avon senior, will sing the national anthem for us. Well, thank you to Avon student Alexis Argolis for that lovely solo a cappella rendition of the national anthem. We haven't had a lot of those over the years in the games I've commentated, but it seems like they do so every game at Avon. They find a student to sing. It's really nice. So anyway, as I said, Avon's head coach is Mark Bless, who's 87-37 in his 11th season with the Orioles.
That's such a great winning percentage. I mean, that's incredible, the amount of wins to losses that Bless has put forward.
Yeah, especially here in the Hoosier Crossroads Conference, the second toughest conference in the state. And he's 236 and 104 in his 31st season overall. He previously coached at Mooresville and North Vermillion. And it's incredible that, just to be a head coach for 31 years in general. I mean, 31, so that means he would have started back in 1990 when I was just a year out of high school. And so, certainly Indiana high school football has changed a lot in that time, but he's continued to be a big winner across the board. And Zionsville's head coach, meanwhile, is Scott Turnquist, who's 8-11 in his second season with the Eagles. And, you know, it's really been interesting to trace this program over the years. You know, Zionsville, really one of the more underrated programs in state history. It's often, they're one of those schools that, because they're in such close proximity to Indianapolis, and therefore, you know, schools such as Carmel, Ben Davis, Warren Central, Zionsville often gets, you know, lost in the shadow, but, you know, it's often overlooked. They have 2 state championships of their own, both under, you know, monster coaches back all the way in 1987. They won the Class 2A state championship under Rick Wimmer, who would go on to win a state championship later with Fishers. Then in 1996, they won the Class 3A state championship with head coach Larry McWhorter, who had a 17-year run with the Eagles, then went on to build the program at Covenant Christian from scratch, and within 3 years they were one of the top 1A programs in the state. So certainly it's a great great football program, great overall athletic program. You know, I've got a few tidbits of trivia. Whenever I commentate Zionsville, I always mention they do have quite an athletic history there. And, you know, they have a very unusual story. You know, the IHSAA starting in 2013, when the first year of the when they did the first year of this class, going back to 2013 when the IHSAA started the sixth class program. You know, basically they've done reclassification every 2 years. You know, every odd numbered year they reclassify. And Zionsville, at the beginning of this reclassification period last year, they were moved up to Class 6A for the first time, which made the Hoosier Crossroads Conference an all 6A conference for the first time. However, during the last summer vacation, the 2 public high schools in Elkhart, Memorial and Central, consolidated to form one giant high school, which moved them into 6A and pushed Zionsville back into Class 5A. So even though Zionsville is only 3-4, keep in mind they did win a 6A sectional last year, and they get to play in 5A this year. So certainly Zionsville could be primed for another big tournament run. But speaking of tournament runs, let's take a look at the draw that Avon got. 3 weeks from tonight, Avon will begin tournament play right here at home against the Brownsburg Bulldogs, currently the number 4 ranked team in the state. When the 2 teams met at Brownsburg back in week 4, Brownsburg prevailed by a score of 47-29. So it was a comfortable margin for Brownsburg, but it was not a blowout. And certainly, this game, the playoff game, will take place 8 weeks after that. 8 weeks, a lot can change on a football team. So certainly, Avon, will have a shot to get revenge, not only for the Week 4 game, but also for last year's tournament loss. And on the other side of the bracket, remember, all sectionals in Class 6A are 4-team sectionals. 3 and 4 Pike will visit 5-2 and currently 6th-ranked Carmel. Most likely, Carmel will be the winner of that. And so, anyway, the winner of Avon Brownsburg will play the winner of Pike Carmel. And, if Avon can improve enough in the next 3 weeks, which is how long it is before they play their tournament game, if they can do that, if they can improve enough to get the win over Brownsburg, then it stands to reason they'll have a fighting chance against Carmel, and that would put them in the regional, meaning they'd be among the final 8 teams in the state, and they would have an excellent shot to win that regional game because they would play the winner of what's probably the worst sectional in the 8-year history of the 6A division. Ben Davis, usually a mammoth of a program, only 2-5 this year. They will play at 1-3 Southport. And then on the other side of the bracket, 0-7 Perry Meridian will play at 2-4 Arsenal Tech. So whoever wins that sectional, most likely Ben Davis, obviously the winner of Avon sectional would be the favorite. So now the bad news is that whoever wins that regional will likely run into Center Grove, who looks like they're going to run through the tournament and get the state championship like an 18-wheel truck. But, certainly even a regional win would be huge for Avon this year. But, first things first, they got to take care of business 3 weeks from tonight. And, certainly if they can put together 2 great games to win the interstate, if they can put together 2 great wins to close off the regular season tonight against Zionsville, and next week on the road against Noblesville, then, they'll be entering the season having, won 2 in a row, 4 of the last 5, and they'll go to the playoffs with a lot of momentum. Then they'll have a bye week off and then, start the tournament. So what they got to, focus on now, take care of business, give an A performance and get a couple of wins these last 2 games, especially keep on working hard these next couple of weeks, on that rushing defense, and a lot of good things can still happen. And remember, the most important thing is finishing strong. Last year, Avon started super strong, 9-0 in the regular season, 8 consecutive weeks at number 1 in the AP poll to close out the regular season, but they did not finish strong. They had a surprisingly close wins, 3-point wins apiece against Westfield and Zionsville in weeks 7 and 8 of the regular season, and then I think had a false sense of security because they maintained the perfect record. I think if they lost one of those games, they would have been a little more on the edge against Brownsburg. But anyway, it's exciting that they'll have a chance to open the season, to open the playoffs at home and against their fiercest rival. Not only their geographically closest rival, but the other 6A team here in Hendricks County. And, one thing that's great, there are 2 classes here in Hendricks County that have multiple teams. 6A has obviously Brownsburg and Avon. Class 3A has Tri-West and Danville. They have a sensational rivalry as well, playing together in the Sagamore Conference, each team trying to be, the king of the county in its class. So,
real quick, let's thank Fry Electric. Please remember to call Fry Electric for all your electrical needs. Harmony of Avon, loving people and sharing, hope together. Experience more at harmonyofavon.com. And the team at Bailey Family Dental is always warm and friendly, wanting to take care of all your dental needs from ages 1 to 100. Dr. Bailey and his staff provide excellent dental care without fear or concern. We at Bailey Family Dental would like to wish all the athletic teams good luck. And head to Ralph's Muffler and Brake Shop, located next to Lowe's on Dan Jones Road. It's first come, first serve. For your free estimate, visit Ralph's Muffler and Brake Shop for all your car care needs. And Mosquito Joe's, we help you to ditch the itch and make outside fun again. 317-350-1131. Go Orioles. And supporting Avon Athletics for over 20 years, Steve and Debbie Larkin of Larkin Collision and their family are proud to be Avon alumni. Everyone at Larkin Collision wishes the Avon Orioles good luck. All right, we're getting ready to see the Orioles come out of the big, giant blow-up helmet and onto the field. And just as I say that, here they come.
Well, certainly a very emotional game. The last regular season game here at Avon of the last regular season home game of this sensational senior class that's taken Avon to some of the greatest heights in its history. To what I believe was its first #1 ranking ever last year, and some great playoff wins, including a regional championship. Now they're hoping, last year they started strong, finished, disappointingly. This year they started disappointingly, but still with the hope of finishing strong. And a victory tonight, in the regular season home finale would certainly give them a jolt of confidence and momentum as they close out, as they head into next week's regular season finale up at Noblesville, and then the playoffs 3 weeks from tonight. And I think in the 3 weeks between tonight and the playoff opener, they really have a chance to really polish up a lot of things and get ready to maybe pull off that big upset of Brownsburg. So, the offense is always going to be there. If the defense can get, 10% better every week between now and then, and can start containing some of these, teams that have big rushing defenses, then, that'll take some of the pressure off the Avon's offense and really open some doors for them.
Hey, don't forget, if you want to play along with us tonight, we're on Twitter. I'm at Rob M. Kendall, at Rob M. Kendall. He's at Lex Zorn. If you want to tweet at us, let us know where you're listening from. We'll try to get your name on the air this evening. Avon will be in the home black uniforms, black helmets, white pants. The Zionsville Eagles, all white jerseys with gray helmets.
And we got an unusually nice evening weather-wise, 77 degrees under a mostly clear sky here in the lovely community Avon in the west suburbs of Indianapolis. So now Avon set to kick off the game, and good that Avon. It's good that Avon has the ball first, because if they can get the early score, and remember Zionsville does not have that good an offense, so if Avon can get a score in its first possession, put some more pressure on the Zionsville offense. The Eagles averaging 22.7 points a game. Avon, by contrast, averaging 37.4. So we have a 15-point per game advantage.
Lucas Lodix will kick it off for the Zionsville Eagles. A couple of Orioles back deep to receive the kick. I see number 11 back there, Joe Hall, and I believe also let's see. Well, it's going to be hard to see these jerseys tonight. We'll let you know if he catches it. How about that? Lodix kicks the ball. It's a high end over end kick. It'll sail deep into the end zone. It will be taken. That was number 15. That was Carmelo Mitchell, and it'll be 1st and 10 for the Avon Orioles coming up from the 20.
Quite a leg on Lucas Lodix, only a junior there for Zionsville. That was his 24th kickoff of the season, his 10th touchback. His average coming into tonight, 54.3 yards per kickoff.
And I know we've said it before, Lek, but kudos to all of these players on both teams, their families, their friends, the coaching staffs, the athletic departments. I think a lot of us were very hesitant whether we'd have a season, much less get 8 weeks into the season, and here we are. And for the Orioles, at least, no games missed. And so here we are as we start game number 8, as it will be Hessen working out of the gun, one man in the backfield, 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Snap. There's a fake play action. He's going deep, going down the sidelines, and overshot the intended receiver, Remington Gall, on the far side of the field.
Yeah, I just put a little too much on it, but I'll tell you, Rob, that reminds me. Last night I watched the IHSAA tournament selection show on their webpage, and it's still up there if anybody wants to watch it. It's archived. But, they said that more than 95% of the games this year have been played. That was so great to hear.
Yeah, pretty amazing, and a testament, again, to all these folks who worked so hard, and it comes from the school corporations, the parents, the players, everybody involved. Great job. Hessen out of the gun. Snap, throw, caught, near side of the field, and spins up to the 25. That time it was Wallace Stovall with the catch for Avon.
Yeah, Stovall, having a great season. He should be playing college ball a year from tonight. That'll bring up 3rd and 5.
Hessen quickly back out of the gun. 2 receivers in tight right, 2 men out to the left, single man in the backfield. Hessen now will look back, reset the play, reset the offense. Jaden Jones, the lone man in the backfield with him. And Avon taking their time now as they'll run inside 10 seconds to go on the play clock.
So what do they do with the numbers on the jerseys this week? Is that like camouflage or something?
It is hard to read. That's what it is. Snap, back to pass, steps up, now flushed out, rolling right side. Rolling, throwing on the run. Got a man caught, came back and got it.
Yes.
Avoids the tackle. He's got room to run. Inside the 40. Take it. Nope, still going. He's inside the 10, and he is going to take it the distance for the score. Touchdown, Wallace Stovall. Avon leads it 6-0.
Oh, my God. 74 yards. Well, I guess they listened to me when I said, hopefully they can score in this first possession. Now Zionsville, Zionsville's decent but not great offense now is going to be put in a pressured spot here. And now let's see. Is it going to be Miller on the extra point? Sam Miller on the extra point. She's 19 of 20 on the season.
And what a job for her stepping up and becoming the kicker in the middle of the year, kind of, and just has been basically automatic on these extra points. Snap, spot, kick is up down the middle. It is good. And with 10:57 left to go in the first quarter, it's 7-0 Avon.
Awesome start to the Orioles. And they're playing like a team that doesn't plan to be one and done in the playoffs this year. They got a lot of work to do, but they're off to a great start here tonight against Zionsville. And yeah, Sam Miller now 20 for 21 on the season. I've been commentating that young lady 4 years now. Now, in recent years, there have been a handful of girls who've been kickers for varsity teams here in Indiana, but primarily it's been smaller schools. I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong about this, but I don't know of one girl who's ever kicked for a Class 6A team. That is an amazing achievement. They got her, by the way. She was originally a soccer player here for the Lady Orioles and then came over to the football team. So 7-0 your score, 10:57 to go here in the first quarter. A 74-yard touchdown pass from Henry Hessen to Wallace Stovall, each playing his final regular season home game.
Yeah, and Avon up to that 7-0 lead. They're trying to get back to 500 on the year, currently sitting at 3-4, and they'll try to even the score here tonight and build some momentum as they head into the playoffs.
Yep, remember they got 3 weeks before they have their first playoff game, and it'll be right here. And check with Avon for ticket information.
It's a high kick. It'll sail deep. It'll bounce, and then it'll go into the end zone. It'll go past the back man for Zionsville. I believe that was number 1, Miles Cox, back there.
So, yeah, so each team with a touchback on its first kick of the game.
So here come the Eagles onto the field first time. Perfect start for Avon.
Oh, yeah.
And number 8 quarterback, Max Miles, and he will start with 2 men to the right, 2 men to the left, 1 man in the backfield. Miles out of the gun. Snap, steps back, quick drop, fires, caught, evades a tackle, near side of the field, first down and more. Number 19, Trey Firestone with the reception.
So a good start to Avon, showing that they're not fazed by the outstanding first play that the Orioles made there. Firestone, a 6'3", 195-pound junior. That's great wide receiver size. Picks up 11 on the play.
Snap, stretch play, far side, still going, and a host of Orioles in there to wrap them up and take them down. That was Colin Price on the run. He lost, he lost about 10 yards.
Yeah, Colin Price, a junior for Zionsville, the team's best rusher on the season, but brought down for 9 yards there. So, well, they were right on top of him, so now all of a sudden 2nd and 19. So, good position to start in for the Orioles defense.
Yeah, 2nd and long now for Zionsville, working out of the gun. Here's Miles. Snap, give straight ahead, and he'll get some of that yardage back up across the 25 near the 27, and it'll bring up a 3rd down and long.
So, a very good situation for Avon to be in, especially since their defense hasn't been that good this year, that they have some margin for error here, as Price picks up 5 of the 9 that he lost, bringing up 3rd and 14.
Back to pass, steps up, going down the field, overshot the intended receiver, incomplete. And in there at quarterback now was number 6 for the Eagles, Josh Stone, a senior.
Yeah, Stone, a decent season, 84 completions in 140 attempts, 1,010 yards, 9 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. But there's a...
Now we've got a flag. Was it pass interference?
Yeah, so.
Wow.
So a big break for Zionsville when it looked like they were going to give Avon the ball back with a chance to take an early 2-possession lead.
Yeah, Avon, boy, that's a tough one for the Eagles. It'll be 1st down and 10 now as Zionsville back out of the gun. Snap, quarterback keeper. Cuts it to the far side of the field, but nothing doing that time. Stone taken down. Number 15 for Avon, Carmelo Mitchell, coming up from the secondary to make the hit.
Yeah, Carmelo Mitchell, wide receiver, also showing some good things on defense as Stone on his first keeper of the game is brought down for no gain.
So now a second down and long coming up, right where Avon had him on the first set of downs.
Yeah, if only they hadn't have made that pass interference penalty. Nevertheless, 2nd and 10 now.
Yeah, 2nd and 10 coming up. You say, go ahead, Leck.
No, I was just saying I just wish that they hadn't committed that penalty. But anyway, screen pass is complete. He's got some room over the right side, and he's going to be short of the first, but about 6.
Yeah, upended that time right at midfield. That was number 1 for Zionsville. Miles Cox with the reception. 3rd down coming up for the Zionsville Eagles.
Very big 3rd down for Zionsville because they don't want Avon to get the ball back with a chance to take a 2-possession lead. That'd be pretty hard for, an unspectacular offense like Zionsville to overcome. They, average 15 points a game fewer than does Avon coming into tonight.
So here comes Zionsville now. Pass caught far side of the field. Should be enough for a 1st down into Avon territory.
Yes. So Gunnar Hartwig with his first reception of the game, and Stone has completed his first 3 passes, by the way.
Ball down to the 47-ish. Stone out of the gun. Snap. Quarterback keeper. He's got room to run far side of the field. Takes it and tripped up inside the 40. Very close to another 1st down for Zionsville. It'll bring up 2nd and short.
So overall, a pretty good start to the game for Zionsville's offense, and they give Stone their credit for 9, so bring up 2nd and 1 there.
Yeah, 2nd down and 1 coming up now.
So not a spectacular drive, but certainly a solid, methodical drive for Zionsville. Certainly not showing any panic after Avon scored so quickly in only 3 plays on their first possession.
Snap, back to pass, flushed out. Stone rolling, throwing back, caught, got him in wide open, and he's all the way down near the 20-yard line. Flag comes in late. We'll see what that is. Came in right at the end of the play that time.
Let's see who it's against.
That's usually not good for the
it looks
defense.
Looks like it's going to.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it looks like it is going to be against Zionsville, so a break for Avon there.
Yes, indeed. 6:54 to go here in the first quarter. Avon 7, Zionsville 0. The Orioles scored on their first possession on a 74-yard touchdown pass from Henry Hessen to Wallace Stovall, the two seniors. Two seniors of one of the best senior classes in Avon history. I'm hoping that sometime during this game we'll find out the significance of the unusual patterns that the Orioles have on their numbers tonight. But anyway, while we got an injured player being attended to, an Avon player on the far side of the field, I cannot tell who it is from my vantage point. And now he is standing and walking off the field under his own power. That's always good to see. So now let's see what's going to happen with this, what the ruling is after that penalty. So it's showing at 2nd and 2.
So, yeah, now we're back ready to go. Whatever it was, it leaves us with a 2nd and 2.
Yeah, I wish the officials were mic'd here in high school ball.
That would be helpful.
Anyway,
Pass, incomplete, far side of the field. Flag comes in late. That's going to be an interference on Avon.
I believe you are correct about that, yes. So 2 pass interference penalties on the first drive, and yes, that is indeed what it is. So 2 pass interference penalties on the first drive. So that's something to watch with concern. Again, playoffs start 3 weeks tonight right here at Avon against Brownsburg. It's a game that undoubtedly the Orioles will be psyched for. Really pumped up to play that one. So 1st and 10, Zionsville at the Avon 24, 6:31 to go here in the first quarter, game 8 of 9 in the regular season. My name is Lex Zorn, joined by Rob Kindle. We're in our 14th consecutive season of bringing you Avon football here on audiosportsonline.com. And now, screen pass. It's dropped. I am unclear as to whether that's going to count as a rush or a pass.
Boy, they're going to call that a live ball. Boy.
So Colin Price there is going to be brought down for his second big loss. He was tackled for 9 earlier, now for 6 there. So the poor kid's taking a real big hit on his rushing stats in this game. 3 for -10. So 2nd and 16 for the Orioles. So each team, has had a couple of blunders. Avon, the 2 pass interference penalties, giving Zionsville 30 free yards, but then Zionsville with the losses of 9 and 6 yards. So let's see where the Eagles go from here. And now a keeper, but Stone is brought down, and then he only got about 2 or 3, so it's going to be 3rd and very long for the Eagles. 5:31 to go and counting. I'll tell you, last weekend Rob and I had quite an adventure, as they give Stone credit for too. We had we commentated a freshman JV doubleheader at Plainfield on Saturday. Then on Sunday we commentated a triple header of Little League games up at Hamilton Southeastern, the Fishers Hamilton Southeastern Youth Championships. And boy, there was a lot of inconsistent clock usage in those games.
I think they're a little sterner here at the high school level.
I think so, yes. And we got a flag, but Stone takes it down the left side, and he's knocked out of bounds around the 23, but let's see what the flag is. If it's against Zionsville, I'd guess Avon would decline it to take the 4th down, but we'll see.
It's, as we say in the business, the area of a hold.
Yes. It looks like it will be coming back. It was it would have been about a 5-yard gain there by Stone, who is, a solid rushing quarterback, as is Hessen. So 4:52 to go here in the first quarter. Clock stopped. But yeah, it was. I'll tell you that. Hopefully someday we'll get to commentate the Avon Youth League Championships. Those Little League games are a lot of fun. So anyway, first and I'm sorry. So it'll now be 3rd and 29 now. So things looking pretty good for Avon. As
back to pass, has time, fires down the middle of the field. It's caught. Flag flies in late. What a great catch on the run that time by number 15 for Zionsville, Gunnar Hartwig. And a flag flies in late. We'll see if that is on Avon.
Yeah, if he didn't make it, that's going to be about a 23-yard pickup. Which would, really change things for Zionsville. It'd be a somewhat makeable 4th and 6, but let's see here.
Well, you talked about it, Alec, early a couple of plays ago. Would Avon decline the penalty and make it a 4th and long? They elected to take it and make a 3rd and really long.
Yeah.
And that didn't end up working out in their favor right there, because Zionsville now has a 4th and much shorter.
All right, so the 3rd pass interference penalty against Avon.
Oh,
wow.
they're gonna take this. No, they're gonna decline it. I guess pass interference is not an automatic.
No, I thought it was. I guess not. Nevertheless, a 26-yard pickup there.
And they'll try a field goal. It must not be, because.
So now it's on the kickoff, a very familiar name. It's A.J. Vinatieri. Yes, his son.
Of the legendary Adam Vinatieri.
Yeah, that's right.
Snap spot, kick is up. It's on the way, and the kick is.
No good. Wide right. So good break there, and it should be noticed that that's only Vinatieri's 2nd field goal attempt on the season. He's primarily their punter. He's not their regular field goal kicker. So a good break for the Orioles there as they take over. And Avon, by the way, they consumed 6 minutes and 23 seconds of the clock more than an eighth of a game on that drive and came up empty-handed. So they did keep the Avon offense off the field, but Avon still has the lead, and now they have the ball. So
two to the right, 2 to the left. Snap back to pass. Hessen has time. Flushed out. He's going to roll to the far side of the field. Going to take off with the run. He's got the 25, 27, and will run out of bounds unharmed. Second and short coming up for Avon.
So what a wild possession, that first possession that was for Zionsville.
They must have had confidence in his leg, though, because that was not a gimme field goal by any stretch of the imagination.
No, and he's got a great punting average, by the way. His punting average is over 40 yards. So yeah, he does have the leg. He just, pushed it too far to the right. And certainly you'd expect, knowing who his dad is, you'd expect him to have a good leg. And and now Hessen drops it, but he looks like he bobbled the ball and he fell on it. So it'll be third down, a very big third down for the Zionsville defense here. So 3:59 to go and counting. Avon, 3rd and 3 here at their own 27. They started off the drive with 2 rushes by Henry Hessen. His first 2 rushes of the game. Now he takes it, and he's blitzed, but he gets away from it. He's got some room on the left side. He's got the first down and more up to the 35, and he's knocked out of bounds around the 38 or 39. So outstanding rush there by Henry Hessen.
What an athletic play that time, Leck. He took off and, man, spun out of some trouble. Could have been sacked way back there in the backfield, and it ended up turning that into a first down for Avon.
Oh, yeah, Avon went super hard after him. But, as Adam is still, as far as I know, Adam Vinatieri, AJ's dad, has not announced his retirement yet, having been released by the Colts in training camp. I wonder if he's here at the game tonight while he looks for a new team.
Snap, run play. Oh, big hole. Nice move. Room to run across the 25, 45, 50. Inside the 45. That was Jones on the run that time. And it's a first down into Zionsville territory.
Yeah, Jaden Jones showing a lot of potential as a sophomore. It's exciting that we got that young man back for 2 more years here. And he picks up about 25 yards on that play. So now Hessen throws deep down the right side. He's got, and just overthrown, going for Stovall, and he would have been gone for the score as well. Hessen 2 for 4, 80 yards. And that was, that was the first pass of this possession after 4 rushes. That went a combined, the 4 rushes that went a combined 37 yards. We do have a flag, and it's going to be holding against the Orioles. So already 4 penalties against the Orioles here in the early going. That's something that you really want to watch out for. You can probably get away with committing too many penalties against Zionsville and certainly against Noblesville, but not against Brownsburg 3 from tonight. They got to get in the habit of bringing their A-plus game every night. So now 1st and 31 for the Orioles with 4 receivers out to the left, 1 to the right, empty backfield. Hessen in shotgun.
Yeah, it is really interesting, too, Leck, how much it has cooled off here once that sun went down.
Yeah, it's very pleasant, though.
It was, as you said, in the 80, back pass, throws, middle of the field, overshot the intended receiver. That time it was number 11, Joe Hall. Yeah, it is interesting. With that sun out, it was in the 80s when the game started, and now we find ourselves, I don't know what our temperature is now, but it's dramatically different, and that breeze is starting to pick up a little bit. And by the way, a little bit of help this year. No severe weather during our football games so far.
Yeah,
that's pretty rare.
Yeah, it is. Usually about every year, there's at least 1 bad game every year as weather-wise, or if not 2. And I don't mean as far as just cold. I mean just like rain and stuff. And now as a rush down the right side by
that's Jones.
Yeah. So he picked up several yards, but it's still going to be far short of the first. It'll be 3rd and long. Jones took it 25 yards on his first rush. So he picked up 15 yards there. So Jones already 2 carries, 40 yards, only a sophomore. second leading rusher on the team behind junior Krishawn McCray. So that's going to be a heck of a backfield duo next year, as Avon will likely be relying more on its rushing attack. And now pass to Hall. It's complete for about 5 or 6, bringing up a fairly manageable 4th and 5 or 6.
So down to the 37-ish yard line.
Picks up 7 there. Hall's first reception of the game. He's been, in my opinion, the most pleasant surprise on the team this year.
4 to the left, 1 to the right. Single, empty backfield for Hessen.
Very critical play for the Zionsville defense.
And now a timeout going to be called by Avon with $1:50 to go here in the first quarter of action. 7-0 Avon with the lead and the ball. And Andy Moore Automotive is the state's largest and is proud to be the exclusive automotive sponsor of Avon Community Schools. And Avon Orthodontics is the happening place to be. Everyone at Avon Orthodontics wishes the Orioles good luck. And BSN Sports is a proud sponsor and official provider of uniforms, apparel, spiritwear, and equipment for Avon Athletics. And Chick-fil-A Avon, celebrate with the chicken. Visit Chick-fil-A Avon for the post-game celebration.
And, you know, I mentioned Zionsville kicker A.J. Vinatieri's dad, Adam, who kicked 2 game-winning field goals with the New England Patriots, then helped the Colts win Super Bowl 41 back in the 2006 season. He's the NFL's all-time leading scorer, and the man he beat for that record, Morton Anderson, is a graduate of Ben Davis High School. So it's great that the top 2 scorers in NFL history both have very close ties to the city of Indianapolis. And so now 4th and 4 for the 37, from the 37 for Zionsville, as they try to keep this a one-possession deficit. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. 1 running back, Hessen in shotgun. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff, throws up the middle. He's got the completion, and it's going to be inside the 20. He's got some room over the left side, inside the 10, inside the 5. Did he get in? Touchdown.
Remington Gall that time.
On 4th and 4, outstanding play for the Orioles as they take charge of this game, 13-0 here with 1:39 to go in the first quarter and the conversion pending. And the crowd's really getting into it now. Already 124 yards through the air for Henry Hessen, playing his last regular season home game, but not his last home game overall. Now Sam Miller on the extra point. The snap, kick is up, and it is good. So Sam Miller goes to 21 for 22 on the season, and Avon opens up a 14-0 lead here in the first quarter on a huge 4th and 4 conversion, a 37-yard touchdown pass from Henry Hessen to Remington Gall.
Brownsburg leads Noblesville at the end of the first, 7-0.
Yeah, in fact, Avon will travel to Noblesville to close out the regular season next week. Should be a very easy Orioles victory. Noblesville working on its 20th consecutive losing season. And really, it's long been a mystery to me that a program that's, in a very populated, the only high school in a pretty wealthy community has been that bad in football for that long. You got to think that someday, they're going to find the right coach and they're going to, that's a sleeping giant that's going to wake up. But nevertheless, Avon looking very good today, and certainly, their offense has been great all season. But what I really want to see in this game is I want to see the defense continue to come through and make some stops. They weren't great on that first Zionsville possession, but they got the job done, and they held Zionsville without any points. But they do have to cut down on the penalties. 3 pass interference penalties on that first drive. That's too many. So now the kickoff brought up right around the 20.
All the way up to the right at the 20. Good call.
Yes.
Good eyes, Leck.
Yep. So 1:34 to go in the first quarter. Zionsville already in a 14-0 hole.
Working out of the gun. Man goes in motion from left to right. Snap, give, straight ahead, up to the 22, and it'll bring up second and long.
And Zionsville does not have a dominant player on offense. The closest would be Colin Price. So now 109 to go in counting, 2nd and 10, and Zionsville trying to avoid a dreaded 3rd and long here. So 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Stone in shotgun, takes it, drops back, throws over to his right, throws a screen pass. It is caught, and he's going to be brought down a little short of the first down. So complete to Cox there. So that's going to bring up a 3rd and short. Stone has completed his first 5 passes in this game. So gave him credit for 9, a little bit better of a spot than I would have guessed. So 3rd and 1 for the Eagles. They desperately need to get this here, otherwise Avon will have a chance to take a 3-possession lead here in the first half. 9 seconds to go in the quarter now. And now he's got a man open, but he just overthrew it. And the guy, I think he was, the receiver was uncertain about when the ball was going to be released, and he paused, and then by the time he turned on the gas, it was too late. So that's Stone's first incompletion of the game, bringing up 4th and 1. And it looks like so far no sign that the Eagles are going to punt.
Well, there's Brian Woodard, the head coach of the Playfield Quakers, and I talked about this on his coaching show this week about there's a theory now that if it's close, you go for it because the odds are good you're going to get it.
Yeah.
And with this vaunted Avon offense, they probably don't want to give him the ball back.
Yeah, because going down 21-0 against Avon, that's a daunting proposition. And now they've got the first, so it does pay off.
Yeah, for the years, and again, Coach Woodard talked about this, there was this theory, you don't get it, you're in your own territory, you just punt it, no question asked, but you look at the odds are pretty good, you can pick up a yard, so why not give it a try?
So certainly, yeah, I would have done the same thing, by the way, had I been Zionsville, because, man, they have shown, they haven't been able to contain Avon's offense at all so far. So you got to keep them off the field as much as you can.
Do you have an upcoming corporate event or outing? Reach out to us at lmspiritgear.com and we can help. Avon Oral Surgery has been providing excellent oral surgery care to the Avon community since 1981. And the Beacon Sign Company for all your signage needs. Hungry? How about BJ's Restaurant Avon? Come visit us after the game for pizza and Pazookies. Proud sponsor of Avon Athletics. Go Orioles! Please remember to call Fry Electric for all your electrical needs. Harmony of Avon is a proud sponsor of Avon Athletics. The team at Bailey Family Dental is always warm and friendly, wanting to take care of your dental needs from ages 1 to 100. Dr. Bailey and his staff provide excellent dental care without fear or concern. We at Bailey Family Dental would like to wish all the athletic teams good luck.
Well, back here at Avon, we're about to start the second quarter of Game 8 of the regular season with your Avon Orioles leading the Zionsville Eagles by a score of 14-0. Quick scoring recap with 10:57 to go in the first quarter. Henry Hessen struck Wallace Stovall 74 yards for the touchdown, and then on Avon's ensuing possession, Zionsville's ensuing possession, they consumed 6 minutes and 23 seconds of the clock. However, came away with no points as A.J. Vinatieri missed a field goal, and then on Avon's ensuing possession, they scored again on a 37-yard touchdown pass from Hessen to Remington Gall. And now Zionsville to start at the second quarter, 1st and 10 at their own 33. Three receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Josh Stone, the quarterback, in shotgun. He's pressured, gets rid of it. He's got a screen pass to Cox. He takes it up for about 3 yards. Stone has completed 6 of his first 7 passes, but none were for big gains. Well, he did have the 26-yarder to Hartwig. but they've mostly been very short gains. That's Cox with his 3rd reception of the game. So now 2nd and 7 at the 36 for Zionsville. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Cox in shotgun, Price the running back. I'm sorry, Stone in shotgun, Price the running back. And now gives it the handoff, and he dodges a tackle, rolls over to the left and gets a couple of yards. That was Cox there on a reverse. Cox with his first rush of the game. And now, so 3rd and 5, very big 3rd and 5 for Zionsville at their own 38. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Takes a snap, drops it back, throws deep down, and he's got a man open, and he's got the catch inside the 25. So that's the kind of play Zionsville needed. That was Trey Firestone on the reception there. Let's see, where do they mark him down? At about the 23. So that play covers 39 yards there, by far the longest offensive play of the game for the Eagles. And now they, of course, keep in mind they got into the red zone on their first possession, and it came up way empty. And now, did he make the catch or not? I couldn't. So they got Firestone with another one there. So Firestone for 3 coming off the 39-yarder. So 2nd and 6 for the 2nd and 6 for the Eagles, excuse me. As Stone has completed his 8 of his first 9. So Zionsville moving the ball well. They came up empty on the first. And now Stone rolls to the right under pressure, and he throws it away. So bringing up a 3rd and 6. So big play for the Avon defense. You know, Avon's defense is, has been their weakness this season. But if they can get off the field their first 2 times without giving up any points, that will be huge. Third and 6 at the 19. And now I believe it's a Stone going over to the sideline there, taking some instructions. And I think Zionsville might have used a timeout. I'm not sure. But no, apparently not. But anyway, right now you probably hear in the background, hold that thought here. So 2 receivers to each side, and now it looks like, okay, Zionsville does take a timeout here. Well, at this time, let's take a look at what the other 5 Hendricks County teams are up to tonight. All of them are in action. Starting here in Class 6A, the 4th-ranked Brownsburg Bulldogs, our first-round sectional opponent 3 weeks from tonight. They are having their senior day, hosting the 2-5 Noblesville Millers, our opponent on the road next week. Brownsburg currently at 6-1. Then in Class 5A, the 12th-ranked Plainfield Quakers, another much-valued audio sports online school. They're having their senior day against the 5th-ranked team in Class 5A, the Whiteland Warriors, who are 6-1. That's been a tough game for Avon for Plainfield for many years. Down in Class 3, the 5th-ranked and still undefeated at 5-0 Danville Warriors. They're visiting Western Boone at 4-3. The Stars have won the last 2 Class 2A state championships, but are not quite as good this year. Also in Class 3A, the 10th-ranked Tri-West Bruins, 4th-time state champions. Tonight they visit 0-7 Crawfordsville, and finally 2-5 Cascade plays at 1-6 Monrovia. The 2 teams will open the playoffs against each other 2 weeks from tonight.
9:19 left to go in the first half. He's going to roll out right side, go throw on the run back over the middle. What a defensive play.
Yeah, broken up, and thankfully no flag this time after we had the 3 pass interferences, on Zionsville's first possession. So now the 4th and 6, it would be a 36-yard field goal. Vinatieri went for it for the field goal last time, and it was wide right. Let's see what the Eagles do. I would imagine they'd go for it because 14-3, they're down 14-0 now. A field goal does not do them a whole lot of good here, especially since they have not shown that they can contain Avons at all. In fact, I would not be surprised if they get a score and go for the onside kick here, but we'll see. So now Stone takes it, drops it back, throws up the middle, and no, not even close to anybody. So Stone, after completing 8 of his first 9, now 0 for his last 3, and Avon takes over at their own 19 with a 14-0 lead. 9:07 to go here in the second quarter. Game 8 of 9 in the regular season, a regular season that we were afraid would not happen. It was, I believe, 5 days before the regular season that Rob told me we'd gotten the clearance to do these games, to broadcast these games for Avon, and that was just a huge thrill. I mean, I always love commentary, but when you are faced with losing something you love and you find out that you're not going to lose it, yeah, that's a jolt of excitement there. So now Avon with the ball, 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Handoff there, and he's got a little bit of a hole, and he gets up for a couple. That was Jaden Jones there. Picks up about 2. Yeah, they give him credit for 2. 8:54 to go here. Jones 3 for 42 on the ground tonight, an average of 14 yards a carry. 8:45 to go and counting here in the second quarter. Avon trying to take a 3-possession lead. And now it drops back. Hessen rolls to his left. He's got time. He rushes it himself in. He's out of bounds close to the first down. He picked up about 5 there. So Hessen with some really good running tonight. That'll bring up 3rd and short for the Orioles. 8:26 to go here in the third quarter. Didn't give him quite as good a spot as I thought. They gave him credit for 4. He's 4 for 22 on the ground now. Bringing up 3rd and 4. Very critical play for the Zionsville defense here. So 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right now. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Jones, the running back. Hessen in shotgun. Takes it. High snap, but he gets it. Drops back. He's pressured. Gets rid of it. Jones with the reception, and he drives down the right side. Let's see where they mark him out.
All the way up to the yeah, he's going to be real close to the 28. He needed to get to the 29.
Okay, so he's a yard short then. Okay. All right. So, wow, it looks like they're going to go for it. So, I'll certainly, I like the daring of Avon, although if they don't get it here, then Zionsville's going to get the ball in great field position with a chance to make it a 1-possession game. So we'll see if the risk pays off here for Coach Mark Bless. Or maybe they're just trying to, and now 4-3, 2-1, and Avon takes the timeout with 8:17 to go here in the second quarter. So I guess they were just trying to draw the Eagles off sides to get the automatic first. Worth a try at this point.
Head to Ralph's Muffler and Brake Shop, located next to Lowe's on Dan Jones Road. It's first come, first served. For your free estimate, visit Ralph's Muffler and Brake Shop for all your car care needs. And Mosquito Joe's, we help you ditch the itch and make outside fun again. 317-350-1131. Go Orioles. And the team at Larkin Collision Center is always ready to serve any of your automotive repair needs. They'd like to wish all the Avon athletic teams good luck this year.
Oh, Rob, by the way, did you see that red dust or whatever it was that floated?
Yes.
Do you know what that was?
Something that had to do, I believe, with breast cancer awareness.
Oh, I got you. Okay. So now Avon will punt after all, apparently barring a fake. And it's a great kick. Sails away past the receiver, down to the 20, down to about the 15. That's going to be a huge punt of over 50 yards. However, Zionsville's got something on the return here. And they fumble.
Boy, that was a live ball. The Zionsville player definitely fell on it, but who knows what happened when that pile happened.
And the official has confirmed that Zionsville did recover. But I think what it is, that receiver was just running with such reckless abandon, knowing that Zionsville is close to this game just slipping away. So, yeah, that was a 57-yard punt there. So, outstanding punt. Now, Vinatieri, has the best, not surprisingly, as you'd expect, of all the players in this game, Vinatieri has the best leg. He's one of the best punters in the state and only a junior. And certainly that combined with his last name will get him some college attention. His father about to become, in a few years, one of the few kickers ever to get in the Hall of Fame. So now a rush for about Price up the middle for 3 or 4. Yeah, the only place kickers in the Hall of Fame currently, well, you have George Blanda, who is also a quarterback, but as far as people who are just kickers, both of them Scandinavians. Morten Andersen from Denmark, foreign exchange student here at Ben Davis, and then Jan Stenerud from Norway. So Adam Vinatieri will become the first American kicker to make the Hall of Fame. So Cox, so anyway, 2nd and 5 now. And now a screen pass, it is complete, and they've got the first down past the 35. So Stone to Firestone. Yeah, I just realized the connection of the name there. So they go for 16 yards on that play.
And again, for Zionsville, it's really a two-prong approach here. One, you want to score points, but two, you want to run some clock to not let that vaunted Avon offense back onto the field.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And so they desperately need. And now fakes the handoff, and he takes it over the left side here. He's got the first down and more past the 40, out of bounds around the 37. So that's a nice keeper there by Stone. So that's a pickup of 12 yards there by Stone. He's now 4 for 23 on the ground in this game. 7:02 to go here in the second quarter. Zionsville now. Screen pass complete. He's got some room on the left side, and he's knocked out of bounds after a gain of about 5. So Stone to Firestone for the 5th time in this game tonight. Play covers 5 yards, bringing up 2nd and 5. Stone, a quiet 5 receptions for 75 yards. Zionsville, and keep in mind, Zionsville does get the ball first to start the second half, so if they can close out the half with a score here, they could, tie to start off the second half. So now a handoff, takes it up, and he's brought down for a short loss. We've been all over Price all night. I have him 7 for -3. And he, coming into this game, by far the team's leading rusher and only a junior. Coming into tonight on the season, Price 119 yards, 119 carries, 767 yards, 6 touchdowns. Very solid stats, especially for a junior. So now, 3rd and 7, throws up the middle, and the receiver, he started going to the left, and I think he was, then suddenly realized he was going the wrong way, turned to the right, but it was too late. So, there is a flag, though, so let's see. So it's going to be against ineligible man downfield against the Eagles. It's going to be declined, so that'll bring it up 4th and 7. Avon made a, questionable decision to decline a penalty earlier. That sustained a Zionsville drive. However, that drive ended in a missed field goal, so it did not end up harming Avon. So 6:12 to go now. nearly 3/8 of the way through this game. Zionsville trying to hang in there. Very big 4th and 7 from the Avon 35. They've gotten in, to the 35 or closer on each possession. Come away with no points so far, however. And now the quarterback takes it himself, and he's nowhere close. Only picks up about 2. So Josh Stone, and it's the second turnover on downs for the Eagles tonight. They also have a missed field goal. So they've moved the ball well. They just have not finished off the drive. So that's certainly a good jolt of confidence for this Avon defense. Avon 14-0, should be up 21-0, but maybe they can get to that score right here. And, the way that Zionsville's failed to finish off drives, I wouldn't count out that we have a running clock in this game like we did against Fishers a couple of weeks ago. So now 4 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Hessen in shotgun. Don't be surprised if we have a keeper here. However, we do a short pass, and it's up for about 5 yards. That was Gall there. Already has a 37-yard touchdown reception in this game. And even 6 minutes to go here in the quarter. Hessen's completed 6 of his first 8. Got 5 on that one, 132 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. So, Avon can be very conservative here. It'd be great if they, got another score before they head to the locker room. And now fakes the handoff. Hessen takes it up himself. He dives. He picks up about 4. He might have just gotten the first by the skin of his teeth. So they mark him a yard short, so it'll be 3rd and 1, 5:47. Hessen, 5 carries, 27 yards on this game. 3rd and 1, the clock keeps ticking, so that's good for the Orioles, especially if they do convert this. Little movement at the line, but no flag. And now the players turn over to look toward the sideline. 4 on the play clock. High snap, and he's going to have to chase it down, and he runs over to the right. I think he's just going to throw it away to get rid of it. He needs to get rid of it. No, he doesn't, and that's a huge loss, so huge break for Zionsville. Should have gotten rid of it. That's going to be a loss of about 14 for the Orioles, so presumably they will punt here. So Zionsville catching a big break there. They're lucky they're not down 28-0. Avon shooting itself in the foot there. 14-yard loss. So now Zionsville will get the ball back with over 4 minutes to play. Last time, got a 57-yard punt. Hopefully we'll get another punt that good this time. And now delay of game against Avon, so that brings back another 5 yards. I'll tell you, I'll hold that thought till after this play. I hope I don't forget to say it because it's an interesting story. So now it's a high kick, not quite as long as the last one. And it's received at the 35. He did not call a fair catch, and he was hammered immediately right at the 35. So nevertheless, a 41-yard punt there. But I'll tell you, I remember when I was a kid, when I was just discovering football, I liked to read the Guinness Book of World Records. And, I saw that the all-time record punt in the NFL was 98 yards. And it's the only way that you can do it is to kick it from one to the other. And I read that it was in 1968 by, I believe his name was Steve O'Neill of the New York Jets. And, there's not a lot of video of the NFL before like the late 60s, early 70s. But I did a search online. I found out that there is videotape of the punt that exists, and you can find it online. It's really interesting to watch. Obviously, even if you have the best leg in the world, a 98-yard punt, there's a heck of a lot of luck involved. But it's fun to watch. So, it's a neat piece of NFL trivia. in a reminder of days where, it was a little more innocent than it is today. So first and 10 for 30. First and 10 at their own 33 for Zionsville. Desperately needs to get something going here. They trail 14-0. And now fakes the handoff and a keeper by Stone, and he gets about 7 out of it. And we do have a flag. So let's see, and it is coming back. Holding against Zionsville. Zionsville located in the northwest suburbs of Indianapolis. It's hasn't grown quite to the extent of some of the other suburbs, such as Avon, Westfield, Carmel, Fishers, some of those others, but it has grown a lot. Like I said in the pregame show, they won the 2A championship in '87 and the 3A championship in '96. So just the fact that in the last generation they were down in 2A and 3A, and now last year we're in 6A, this year down to 5A. It's a testament to the amazing growth of the suburbs here in Indianapolis. So first and 21 at the 22 for Zionsville, and they give it to Price, and he picks up about 3. So, yeah, Avon, doing a very good job containing Zionsville's leading rusher tonight, as they give him credit for 3.
And now 3:19 left to go and counting in the first half. Zionsville will get the ball to begin the second half.
Yes, definitely. Second and 19 at the 24, 3:08. So, and the Eagles have 2 timeouts left. So drop back, throw up the middle, and it is broken up. And had he made, that was a great break up there. I couldn't tell who got it.
Joe Hall got the hand on it.
Joe Hall, who's the number 3 receiver on the team this year, doing a great job deflecting that pass. And had he not deflected it, it could have been a huge gain for Zionsville, as it is dreaded 3rd and 19. And, if they don't convert this here, Avon's going to get the ball back with a chance to take a 3-possession lead. So, Zionsville really lucky that they're not down worse than they are. Well, their first 3 possessions, they did get it at least to the opponent's 35, but then 2 turnovers on downs and a missed field goal by A.J. Vinatieri. And now Zionsville uses a timeout, but, earlier on a few occasions tonight, we've heard the Queen classic, "We Will Rock You." And I mention that because, it's become such a staple at sporting events. And Brian May, the guitarist of Queen, actually wrote the song specifically as an audience participation song. And at that, he obviously was a genius. And, Queen, unlike many classic rock artists, was smart and did not sign away the rights to their songs. And I would like to see how much money Brian May has made off of "We Will Rock You" over the years. I'm sure many millions. I'm sure he could.
You think it's that much?
I would think so. Yeah. After all the thousands of times it's been played on TV and in movies and at public events, yeah, I would think so. Yeah.
Wow.
I would guess anyway. And I mean that's why if you look at the most successful artists in general, the ones who make the most money, they're the ones who wrote their own songs and kept the rights. Because, the airplay and, the broadcast and things like that, it really piles up. And so 2 receivers to each side. Now 3rd and 19 for Zionsville. They have one, I believe it's Price there in the backfield. Stone in shotgun. Takes a snap, drops back. He's pressured, and he's brought down for a sack. Yes!
What a big hit. What a big hit.
So Avon, obviously their defense needs a boost, and they've gotten it today. They've given up no points, and they put an exclamation point on that right there.
And 2:52 left to go. Timeout called by Avon.
Yeah, so they still want to make it a 3-possession lead going into the half here. So that's a 7-yard loss there by Stone. So 4th and 26 for the Eagles, And Rob, speaking of royalties, Dynasty Young of Styx said that when he started getting royalty checks for his songwriting, he thought it was a mistake, the amount of money he was making. And it drove the other guys in the band crazy because he didn't want to tour very much because he didn't need the money. The others did. So anyway, so now Zionsville back, this punter standing at, I guess this is Vinatieri here out to punt, standing back on his own 2. And we got a flag here. And it hits just before the 50 and then takes a Zionsville bounce down to the 41. But let's see, we do have a flag though. So if it counts, it'll be a 42-yard punt. So Avon can either take the ball at the spot or order a re-kick, and it looks like they're going to do a re-kick. So now looks like Vinatieri will be punting from his end zone, negating a 42-yard punt. He averages just over 40 on the season on punting. Only a junior. Should be playing college ball in a couple of years. His father, Adam, went to South Dakota State, the Jackrabbits. One of the great names in college sports. So Vinatieri punting about 2 or 3 yards deep into the end zone. Takes it. Gets a good kick at it. And it is just past the 40, caught. And now he's got some room over the left side. And we got a flag here. And he is brought down at about the 42 or 43.
Boy, they're going to get him on that block, Leck. I don't know who it was, but it looked like a pretty good block. I mean, it was a big hit, but it looked like a pretty good block.
Yeah, I was watching the ball carrier, so I didn't get a good look at the block, but let's see here. It's going to be against Avon. So the Orioles with the only downer is Avon now has used all of its timeouts. But I would imagine they'll take at least a couple of shots downfield here. Surprising that there have been no scores here in the second quarter after Avon scored easily on its first 2 possessions. Ended up with a couple of punts since then. 1st and 10 at the 35 for the Orioles, 65 yards to go to get, a 3-possession lead that would be very hard to overcome. And now handoff to Jones. He's got some room, and it's a piece past the 50. He's got a first down and more up to about the 48 or 49. Jones has been on fire tonight. McCray has not carried yet. They give Jones credit for 8. He's for 18, excuse me. He's 4 for 60 now by my count. 2:12 to go, and Avon knocking on the door of taking that 3-possession lead. Now gives it to Jones again. He takes it over to the right side. Now dropped back. He was swarmed and tried to change directions, but it was too late. Brought down by 3 Eagles there. So -2 there for Jaden Jones, the promising young sophomore. .144 to go and counting here. 2nd and 12 for the Orioles. Jaden Jones, a little guy at 5'6", 155. So now 3 receivers to the left, 2 to the right, empty backfield. Hessen takes it, and he's brought down. He was swarmed, and he just fell to the ground. So huge break for Zionsville. Now that'll bring 3rd and very long here. So after that 18-yard run by Jones that made it 1st and 10 inside Eagle territory, now a couple of losses of 2 and 5 yards, excuse me. So 3rd and 17, and now with a minute 3 to go and no timeouts, now Avon, might get a little more conservative here, although looks like they're going to go for a 5-receiver formation again. So apparently there's going to be at least one more long pass here to close out the half. 50 seconds to go and counting. 4 on the shot clock. 3, 2, 1. There's the snap. Now he's brought down for another sack. So things falling apart at the seams here for Avon. And that's got to be a big jolt to the Zionsville defense, who has scored on at will in the first quarter.
Yeah, and bad for Avon because Zionsville had the timeout left. They were able to burn that timeout real quick, so they'll get the ball back with 38 seconds to go. Yeah,
and even if they don't get any scores, they'll have a chance. They'll get the ball first to start the second half with a chance to make it a one-possession game. So 14 yards worth of sacks there on Hessen. Outstanding, turn of events for the Zionsville defense there. And we would like to welcome any Zionsville fans who are listening, by the way. I know that a couple of weeks ago, Fishers, since they did not have their home crew broadcasting, teams are being encouraged to only use their home crews for the home games this season. Fishers was kind enough to promote our broadcast, so if Zionsville, has done the same, and there are any Zionsville fans listening, we certainly welcome you, and we hope you'll excuse that this is a partisan crowd. Oh, we are Avon guys, but, we're honored to have you in our audience as well. And we have great respect for the Zionsville program, so glad to have you with us. And so, anyway, so now 4th and 26 for Avon. And there will be a punt apparently here. Neither team with a timeout left. And a good punt. And he's caught at the 25, taken up to the 30. He's got some room over the left side, but, is gang tackled by a host of Orioles. And we got a late flag there. So let's see what that's all about.
Avon ran away clapping, which is interesting.
Yep. Because my first instinct was that it was going to be unnecessary roughness against Avon, but we'll see.
No signal as of yet. It is unnecessary. Oh, yeah, boy, personal foul. That's a free 15 yards. And Mark Bless is not going to be happy with that because Zionsville with no timeouts left. That's going to put them basically at midfield.
Yeah, and to me, as an Avon guy, my biggest disappointment in this game so far, too many penalties. There were three pass interference penalties on Zionsville's first possession. We were lucky that we got out of that possession without giving up any points. And now we gave another 15 free yards to the Eagles, put them in good field position. Although with 25 seconds to go and no timeouts, still good chance we're going to get out of the half, with the shutout. So 2 receivers to each side now. Stone and shotgun. Price, I believe, is still the running back in there. Takes the snap, drops back. And he's swarmed. He gets rid of it, and it is out of bounds. So the clock stops. It was intended for Firestone. The good news for the Eagles is that they only lost 4 seconds on the play. So 2nd and 10 now with their own 48. Still trying to get something going here. We're coming at you live here on the campus of Avon High School in the west suburbs of Indianapolis. And there's the snap now. And now he throws deep down the right side. He's got and it's just the receiver went about a foot too far. It was just a little bit out of his reach. Firestone again, the intended receiver. Firestone, the leading receiver in this game for Zionsville, 5 for 75. So 3rd and 10 now, 14 seconds to go. Avon leading 14-0. Both teams coming into this game at 3 and 4. Trying to get some momentum heading into the playoffs, which start 3 weeks from tonight. And now we've got multiple flags here. Now for many of the teams in 1A through 4A, the playoffs will start in 2 weeks. There are just a handful of byes in the lower 4 classes, and then there are byes for all but about 4 or 5 teams in 5A. But everybody in 6A gets a bye. That's why Avon will start 3 weeks from tonight, and we'll talk more about that later in the broadcast. So now on 3rd and 15, and they scrub the quarterback, and we got him for a sack. Yes. And that will likely be the last play of the half. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well, it's not a perfect half for Avon, but they do get 2 early touchdowns, and they have the lead heading to the locker room 14-0 here in their last regular season home game here on audiosportsonline.com.
So I guess, is there no band tonight? Not seeing a band.
I don't see the band, no. So, although here we hear very sentimentally the classic Jump by Van Halen. Of course, as you probably know, we lost one of the all-time guitar greats this week. Eddie Van Halen died on Tuesday after a battle with throat cancer. Certainly a man who changed and redefined the phrase guitar hero. And, I'm to put this in perspective, I'm 49 years old. And, the 80s metal era would have never been the same without him. I mean, the phrase guitar hero originated with guys such as Page, Clapton, Hendrix. But it was Eddie who took it and put it on steroids and, brought speed and power to a whole new level for the instrument of guitar. And, really a legacy that's largely unmatched. And with the lack of guitar heroes who've emerged in the last generation, I think it's going to be unmatched for a long time. So I actually posted a tribute to him on my Facebook page this week. Certainly, he and his brother Alex, who immigrated from the Netherlands when they were kids, and then Michael Anthony on bass guitar. It's hard to find a better trio of instrumentalists in a mainstream rock band. And then, of course, in the beginning there was our fellow Hoosier David Lee Roth, one of the great showmen in rock music on lead vocals, then later replaced by Sammy Hagar. And his better range and better power opened the doors for the band to, expand musically, get a little more serious, a little more depth into their music. And then, unfortunately, later in their career, made the bad choice of replacing Hagar with Gary Cherone of the band Extreme, who is a great hard rock singer, but I just don't think was able to fit the public's expectations of a Van Halen, a lead vocalist, either as a singer or as a showman. And that was really the end of the band as a major commercial force. They only released one album after that, which was a reunion with David Lee Roth, on which they were joined on bass guitar by Wolfgang Van Halen, Eddie's only child. So sad loss for music. And, this song, by the way, Jump, this was their first super big pop hit. They had been a big album rock band for several years, but this was their first song that made the top 10, went all the way to number 1 back in the magical year of 1984, which is maybe my all-time favorite year of music. So I get very sentimental when I think back to that year, because that's just so many timeless classics that I still love to this day, 36 years later. And, of course, there was this song that brought synthesizers to the sound of Van Halen, which were also played by Eddie, who was a classically trained pianist. His and Alex's father, Jan Van Halen, was a very accomplished musician in his own right, playing classical instruments. So anyway, getting back to action here at Avon, let's take a look at the first half recap. The way this game started, I thought it was going to be like a 10-minute scoring recap, but it's actually going to be pretty quick. With 10:57 to go in the first quarter on the third play of the scrimmage, on the third play from scrimmage in the game, Henry Hessen threw 74 yards to Wallace Stovall. Sam Miller hit the extra point, making it 7-0. Then on Avon's ensuing drive, they actually consumed 6 minutes and 23 seconds of the clock, but turned the ball over. They ended up with no points after A.J. Vinatieri missed his first field goal attempt of the season. Then on Avon's ensuing drive, Hessen threw 37 yards to Remington Gall for his score. Miller hit the extra point, making it 17-0 late in the first quarter, and then there was no scoring after that. a look at the individual statistics. First of all, for Avon, Henry Hessen completed 6 of 8 passes for 132 yards and 2 touchdowns. His leading receiver was Wallace Stovall, who has 2 receptions for 80 yards and a touchdown, followed by Remington Gall, who has 2 receptions for 42 yards and a touchdown. Joe Hall has 1 reception for 7 yards, and Jaden Jones has 1 for 3. On the ground, Jaden Jones has 5 rushes for 58 yards, while Henry Hessen has 7 rushes for -1 yards. And meanwhile, for the Zionsville Eagles, Josh Stone, the quarterback, has completed 10 of 16 passes for 124 yards. His leading receiver is Trey Firestone, who has 5 receptions for 75 yards, followed by Miles Cox, who has 3 for 19, and Gunnar Hartwig, who has 2 for 30. On the ground for the Eagles, Colin Price has 8 rushes for 0 yards. Josh Stone 6 for 17, and Miles Cox 1 for 2. And so now seems like they're playing some kind of Van Halen compilation album. There you hear "You Really Got Me," their remake of the Kinks classic from 1964. But anyway, overall, it was not a great first half for Avon, but it was a good first half. Their defense looked probably the best it's looked all season. Certainly, they did a good job containing Zionsville. They did allow the Eagles to get into at least to the Avon 35 on each of their first 3 possessions, but the defense always, came through when it counted most and kept the Eagles off the scoreboard. The one thing that you really got to be concerned about, well, 2 things. Number one, the failure to sustain drives in the second quarter, and then too many penalties. And the rushing defense, looked good. I mean, they've really stopped Colin Price, Zionsville's leading rusher, dead in his tracks all night. So that's something, that's really encouraging. Now, Price, not a grade A receiver, but certainly not a grade A rusher, but certainly a very good rusher, certainly one of the better rushers they faced all season. So it shows that they are, that they realize that rushing defense is where they need improvement, and they've, shown great strides in that area tonight. And if they keep it up and keep improving over these next 3 weeks until the playoff starts, they're going to have, a shot to do something in the tournament. So it's very encouraging the way that they've looked tonight on defense. And, while I'm disappointed that Avon didn't finish off a couple more drives on offense tonight, I like one good thing about that is that it's really kept Zionsville's defense at attention all night. It's like it's kept Avon's defense at attention all night. It's like they know they better come through because, you're not going to, no matter how good your offense is, you're not going to score on every possession. So you're going to have to make stops sometimes, and Avon has done that tonight. So I really like what I'm seeing from these guys, and I think maybe the defense is turning a corner right now. So to finish off tonight and then next week against Noblesville, go into the playoffs with 4 wins in the last 5 games, and then have that extra week, that bye week, to keep polishing up the things that need to get polished. So things looking good, and so we might have a good postseason run after all. I know there were a couple of times in the season where it looked bleak, and, we did give up 52 points, an average of 52 points a game in our 4 losses, but we're giving up 0 tonight, not against a stellar offense, but against a solid offense. Zionsville does average 22 points a game. So, and playing about the same schedule that Avon has. So anyway, 6:26 to go now in halftime. And I'll tell you, this has been undoubtedly the most challenging season in the history of the IHSAA. There are always things that come up, natural disasters, wars, whatever. But, a socially contagious disease coming out of nowhere like this Even though it is a disease that has not caused a lot of serious illnesses among young people, you still have to be careful with it. And, of the approximately 320 high school football programs in Indiana, only eight of them canceled seasons. I believe they were all 1A schools. And more than 95% of the games were played. And I think it just, it's been a team effort across the board, from the administrators to the coaches to the players to the fans to the teachers, and finally down to us commentators. We've all done our part to keep everybody safe and make sure there was a season. And, I give a tremendous thank you to the IHSAA. I've been saying all year, the problem with using the word essential to define government policy is that essential is a subjective word, but I am so thankful that the IHSAA determined that, in agreement with me, that high school athletics are essential. They're very important parts of the kids' youth. And so I'm so thankful. I mean, I can only imagine how heartbreaking it would have been for Henry Hessen, Remington Gall, Carmelo Mitchell, Sam Miller, and the rest of these kids if they lost their senior season of football. And that did happen to the baseball, softball, and track and field and golf kids in the spring. And for some of the winter kids, the boys did not get to finish their tournament. They got to play through the sectional, and that was it. So, it's I'm just so thankful that we got this season, and apparently we are going to finish it. And as usual, the Friday and Saturday of Thanksgiving weekend there at world famous Lucas Oil Stadium. And now, I don't know if this is intentional, but we've got the Michael Jackson classic Beat It, which features a legendary guitar solo from Eddie Van Halen, maybe the best guitar solo ever in a #1 pop single. And in fact, just the other day, actually, I found a clip on YouTube that was very interesting. Back when the Jacksons did their famous Victory Tour in 1984 at their show in Dallas, I believe Van Halen had a show there the day before or the day after, but Eddie Van Halen actually joined the band on stage to play Beat It. So that was really cool to see. But anyway, so now 3:11 to go on the halftime clock. And anyway, just to, look ahead, next week, Avon will close out the regular season up at Noblesville against the host Millers. I hope you all will get out there for that one. It should be a very easy victory. Noblesville working on its 20th consecutive losing season. They do have nice facilities up there, and but not such a good team in football. And if you all do go to the game, my strong advice is to cut across Indianapolis on Indiana 37 rather than take 465 all around, because you can save anyway, yeah, and the one of the guys here in the press box was commenting to my broadcast partner about my vast musical knowledge. So that's a great compliment. So anyway, I was listening in on that. So yeah, certainly, I do pride myself as being a 70s and 80s music historian, and I'm really proud of my 15-year-old son, Liam, who often accompanies me here in the press box to these games. He's becoming quite a music historian himself, and his specialty, ironically, it's actually, and keep in mind he was born in 2005, but his specialty in music is the R&B of the 70s, and he's really into a lot of artists that I never really paid a lot of attention to, like James Brown, Marvin Gaye, Bill Withers, and I've been really surprised how much I've enjoyed listening to their classic songs. And the only sad thing about my son discovering 70s music is that a lot of these guys are just dying shortly after he's, discovering them. Like Bill Withers died about a month after Liam discovered his music. So, anyway, But anyway, like I said, if you do go to Noblesville next week, my strong advice: cut across Indianapolis on Indiana 37 because you'll save 12 or 15 miles, rather doing that instead of going around on 465, and leave no later than 3:30 or 3 at best, because that's if you don't leave by 3:30, you seriously risk missing the kickoff. That's how bad 465 traffic is going up there. To the Noblesville and Fishers area. So, I've been commentating 9 years now. Tonight is my 97th game as a varsity. Tonight's my 97th varsity high school football game as a commentator, and I have it down to a science. I work in downtown Indianapolis. I have it down to a science as far as what time you have to leave to get to what school. And for anywhere, if I have to travel on 69 North, or if I have to travel on US 31 South, 3:30 is my cutoff time. Other than that, I'm sweating, wondering if I'm going to make the kickoff or not. And Avon's not as – I actually left like 5:10, 5:15 from downtown today, and I got here right like 5:52 today. So Avon, traffic coming out here, not quite as bad. And so anyway, 2:36 to go now on the halftime clock. And we got players now warming up and stretching for the second half. And anyway, a win tonight and a win next week would end Avon's regular season at 5-4, which certainly less than they expected. But when you consider they were once 1-3, that's obviously a pretty good turnaround, winning 4 of your last 5. And also, one thing to give you a little bit of comfort, it's also important to remember who Avon has lost to. I mean, they have not been losing to cupcakes by any means. The 4 teams who've beaten us are all ranked in the top 12 in Class 6A right now. Westfield at number 3, Brownsburg at number 4, Lawrence North at number 9, and Hamilton Southeastern at number 11. So actually not the top 12, top 11. So, and then, again, 47-29 was the margin that Brownsburg beat us. Then they'll be our sectional opponent tonight, 3 weeks from tonight. And again, keep up. Probably the best thing to do is go to Avon's Twitter page for ticket updates. I know that schools, the IHSAA, and I'm thankful for them for doing this, they've largely left the attendance and ticket sale policies up to the individual schools this year, which I think is best because usually the individual schools know best what works, what their safest policy is to optimize the opportunity of letting fans enjoy these games in person while at the same time still keeping everybody safe. Check the Avon Twitter page, and I think you'll get all the ticket information there. And so that if you want to attend that Brownsburg game in person, that you'll be able to. And then once again, Brownsburg now are ranked number 4 in the state at 6-1. If we win that game, then we will play the game on the other side. We'll play the winner of the game on the other side of the bracket. The number 6 ranked team in the Class 6A now, Carmel at 5-2, will be playing Pike, their MIC rival, at 3-4. Most likely, that would be a Carmel win, although Pike, and when the 2 teams played in the regular season back in week 2, Carmel won only by 1 point in double overtime, 45-44. And even though Pike is 3-4, you got to remember they play in the toughest conference in the state, and depending on who you believe, the second or third best conference in the country. So 3-4 in the MIC, I always say 3-4 in the MIC is the equivalent of 7-0 in any other conference. So, even if we, play Pike, that's not an opponent we want to take lightly. But if we do win the sectional, then we're going to be playing, like I said, the winner of probably the worst 6A sectional in Indiana history in our 8 years of the 6-class system. It's an incredibly weak sectional. The other teams the teams in the sectional have 5 wins combined on the season. So, we should be able to beat any of them. And probably the best team in the sectional, by the way, is Ben Davis, who he beat by 41 points back in week 2.
Isn't it amazing so much of this is the alignment of your sectional and those realignments, how they can really impact everything?
Oh, yeah. And, had and we're Avon about to start the second half here. Zionsville will get the ball in a very critical position. Critical possession. They need to score to get the to make it a one-possession game. And now a squib kick immediately downed by Zionsville at about the 28. But the thing is, remember, Zionsville was in our sectional last year. But the thing is, they were going to be, I assume this year as well. But the thing is, because Elkhart, Central, and Memorial consolidated, pushing that newly created school into 6A, then that dropped Zionsville to 5A, so they're no longer in our sectional. So now, that pushed Carmel into our sectional. So anyway, 2 receivers to each side now, and a guy to rush up the middle here, and he gets about 4 or 5 yards there.
They didn't give him a very good spot, Leck. Only about 3 by the time it was all said and done. Really a good spot if you're an Avon fan.
Yes, second and 7 now at the 30. 11:38 to go now in the quarter. Avon's rushing defense has come through all night. Zionsville has had most of its offensive success through the air. So now a screen pass over to the right. It's caught, and he might have a first down depending on the spot. So, yeah, Stone to Cox. And they do give him the first down there. So definitely a much-needed moving of the chains for the Eagles there. So 1st and 10 at the 37, now 11:06 to go here in the third quarter. Avon 14, Zionsville 0. We're coming at you live from Hendricks Regional Health Stadium on the campus of Avon High School. My name is Lex Zorn, joined by Rob Kindle. This is my 9th season here with Audio Sports Online. And now a rush up the middle, and he gets it for about 6 yards, depending on what kind of spot they give him. So let's see here. That was Price there again. The team's leading scorer on the season. That was one of his few good gains tonight. He's really been stuffed most of the game. So now the Eagles 2nd and 5 at the 42 as they give Price credit for 5 on that one. And now takes it around the right and dives forward. But he's not going to get the first down. He's going to be about 2 or 3 short. Clock stops 10 minutes, 10 seconds to go here in the third quarter. 8:32 your time of day. Very, very pleasant evening here in the lovely community of Avon. So he didn't, so they give him credit for 3 there. So now Colin Price finally starting to get on track here after really being stuffed for most of his first 8 or 9 carries. So now even 10 minutes to go, 3rd and 3 now. Very critical play for the Eagles trying to stay alive here. Although Avon did stall on offense in the second quarter. Screen pass complete. Did he get it? So that was Firestone there, and they do move the chains. Yes, I couldn't tell if he got a foot down after making the reception, after making the catch, but he did. He picks up 5 there. Firestone, the go-to guy through the air for the Eagles tonight, and they got their second first down of the drive. So 1st and 10 at their own 49 here. Now a handoff there to Price. They're right on top of him, though, and they bring him down for a loss. Yes. Yes. So, yeah, they were right there. 3 guys swarmed him immediately. And that is so good to see this rushing defense turn the corner tonight. Is that they give him credit back to the line of scrimmage, which I think is a little generous. But nevertheless, Avon's still in good shape here. 14-0 your score. 9:13 to go here in the third quarter. Zionsville. And now the quarterback swarm gets it off to Firestone. And he's got some room over the left side, past the 40, 35, 30, and he's knocked out of bounds around the 25. So great job there when Stone was about to get hammered. He got rid of it, and Firestone found a hole on the left side, took it 26 yards down to the 25. So that's the fourth time in this game that Zionsville's gotten it to the Avon 35 or further. And the first 3 times they came up empty, and they've got to get something going here if they want to have a realistic chance to win this game. And now it throws down the left side for Firestone again, but nowhere close. So 2nd and 10 for the Eagles.
Another penalty on the Avon Orioles, Leck, and that's been kind of their bugaboo tonight. And it looks like if it is indeed a personal foul, it's going to be a 1st and 10 for the Eagles deep in Avon territory.
Yeah, that's right. Of course, there were 3 pass interference penalties on Zionsville's first possession alone against Avon. So, yeah, that's something they've got to cut out. You know, coming into tonight, the rushing defense was the thing I was most concerned about. They've done much better with that tonight, but now half the distance to the goal, and here Zionsville 1st and 10 at the 13. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. So it's Firestone to the left now, and Baumgartner, the team's leading receiver on the season, and 1 other to the right. Price, the running back. Now Price gets it. He's got a hole up the middle. He's inside the 10, up to about the 7 or 8. And that's about as good as Price has looked all game. They give him credit for 6 there. So 2nd and 4 at the 7 for the Eagles. This is the first time they've gotten it inside the 10 tonight. It would be devastating for them if they did not get a touchdown here. A field goal really wouldn't help them much because they'd still be down 2 possessions.
Well, and again, almost a perfect drive so far for Zionsville with the help of the Avon defense.
Yeah, that's right. And now a handoff there to Price, but he's nailed her on the line of scrimmage. But
yeah, that actually ended up being a pass, Leck. Price kept the ball and threw it to the far side of the field. It was caught around the 2, and there's an injured Eagle down who made the catch. I think that looks like it is 15 who was injured for Zionsville.
That's Hartwig, yeah.
So it'll be 3rd and goal, I believe, coming up for Avon, or for Zionsville, I should say.
Yeah, that was a heck of a fake. You know, whenever I see a great fake that fakes me out so badly that I screw up the call, I call it a Scott Amore caliber fake. Now, the name Scott Amore probably doesn't mean anything to you, but it does to me because my rookie year as a commentator back in 2012, I commentated 3 games for Danville. He was their starting quarterback, and they ran a very unorthodox formation. They rushed almost every play. They very rarely passed. And they, but anyway, he was the best handoff faker I've ever seen. And so every time, somebody fakes me out, I say that was a Scott Amore caliber fake. And I hope to meet Scott Amore someday just so I can tell him that story. It's I don't know what he's doing these days. I know he would be, I guess, in his mid-20s now. And certainly Danville has radically changed its football program since he was there. Now they've become quarterbacks. They've become almost as much of a quarterback school as Avon is. But at the time, they were just, rush all the time, go for 2, indiscriminately. And now Gunnar Hartwig, the quarterback, or the wide receiver, after the and they give him credit for the reception, by the way, his 3rd of the game. But anyway, I have a story to tell about Gunnar Hartwig, too. And here we will rock you again. But anyway, first and goal at the 3 for Zionsville, trying to hang in there, trailing by 14. 2 receivers to each side now. Now Stone turns to the sideline. Now 3 seconds left. They better hurry up. 2, 1. They got it off at the nick of time. Throws into the end zone. Did he get it? Touchdown.
Boy.
So the Eagles are back in this game. 1 possession now.
Yeah, I believe that was number 1, Miles Cox, on the far side of the field with the reception. Just a quick turn, fire from Stone, a very quick play, and just like that, we got a ball game.
Yes, 14-6 now the score with the conversion pending.
Hey, don't forget, if you want to hit us up on where you're listening from tonight or watching from tonight, let us know on Twitter at Rob M. Kendall. At Rob M. Kendall, let me know. We'll try to get that read on the air for you. Let us know you're out there watching Avon football tonight.
So now, on the, and now Vinatieri, and he fumbles it, so Vinatieri picks it up. He takes it over to the left side, and he's tackled. So Adam's son didn't get a chance to kick the extra point. He got, I guess, his first career rush on there, and he's brought down in the backfield.
Went the wrong way.
Yep. But that was not his fault, Nevertheless, he made a good effort. I give him credit, for getting down and picking up the ball and trying to do something with it. That took a good awareness. So, what I was going to say, though, about Gunnar Hartwig, there's a really interesting story. I happen to be a Swedish American, and, there were pretty, few here in the Indianapolis area. So when I see a Swedish name, it really catches my eye. But Hartwig, or Hartvig, as people say in Sweden, actually means tough for the battle. I'm not making that up. You can look it up online. So it's a very appropriate name for that young man who obviously played a very tough game tonight and endured that injury there. And so anyway, now a kickoff here and Avon now trying to make it take Avon trying to get the lead back to multiple possessions. Avon and Zionsville getting there, and now that's another kick. That's Lukics with his 11th touchback of the season, second tonight. But the thing that caught my attention when I was looking at Zionsville's personnel wasn't the name Hartwig, but rather the name Gunnar, because that is like a super Swedish ethnic name like Savin or Bjorn or Olaf or something like that. So you don't see many of those names around here in Indiana. So it's maybe like he's a first-generation or second-generation immigrant. But anyway, now Avon back to action here. 1st and 10, a throw and 20, leading 14-6, trying to close out their home regular season schedule with a win. Hessen hands off to Jones. He's got a hole up the middle, and he gets up about 6. So good start to the drive for Avon. It'll be about 2nd and 4. So they give him credit for 5, 7:22 to go and counting. So the best case scenario for Avon, is they just run a lot of the clock and get the score. So that because Zionsville does not have a lot of big play type players, on their team. I mean, they probably, are going to need, a good, 8, 10, 12 plays to, to get a score. So, the less time we leave them, the better, there, as Jones brought down for a short loss.
They're really trying to establish the run here, and they're having trouble. Zionsville doing a nice job standing up that time, pushing the Orioles back, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 7 for Avon.
Yes, it will. And Jones has had a couple of really nice runs tonight. The sophomore showing a lot of promise. Second, and by the way, he will be in 2 years probably their number 1 rusher. Of course, and, with Samson James having gone on to Ohio State, obviously, that really does a lot for future Avon running backs, giving them more college attention. Now, Hessen with the fake, and he's got the first down. Wisely runs out of bounds after he gets it.
What a great vision. What great vision there by Hessen, found the hole, and then knew exactly where he needed to go and got out of bounds without getting hit.
Yeah, he's a very smart player, and looking forward to seeing what his college decision is going to be. Hessen has had 4 or 5 really good runs tonight. And, really it faked out the defense. And, Rob, now you're a Chicago Bears fan, is that correct?
Oh, yes.
Okay. I have a story about that after this play. But anyway, now for Avon, 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right, 1st and 10 from their own 30. Jones, the running back. Hessen gives it to Jones this time, looks for a hole, but he's brought down for a short loss of about 2. They get him at about the 28. But, you go back to the Bears' only Super Bowl win and that awesome 85 team. They're primarily remembered for their defense, but, you go back to that game where they beat the Patriots. I think it was 46-10 or something like that, as they give him Jones credit for -1 there. But
that wasn't much of a game.
No, yeah, negative gain there.
No, it wasn't much of a game, that Super Bowl.
Oh, game, yeah. Game, yeah, that's right, yeah. And, of course, that was and now fix the handoff. And now Hessen throws deep, and it's just a little bit off target there.
But yeah, overthrew Gall that time, and in a weird way, Gall had his defender boxed out. I think he might have got an interference call, but he had him boxed out. So they were both going for the ball, and he ended up hitting Gall, but because they were both going for the ball, it was an incomplete pass.
Yeah, and amazingly, Hessen only 9 passes thrown tonight. 6 of them were completed for 132 yards and 2 touchdowns. But that was in that 13-year stretch where the NFC won 13 Super Bowls in a row by an average of 23 points.
Isn't it amazing how it really was the dominant conference for so long?
Oh, yeah. So now high snap to Hessen, but he gets a screen pass to Jones, gets the completion, fakes out a defender, and he gets up 4 or 5 yards, but it's not going to be close to the first.
Decision time now for Mark Bless as the ball's at the 35. They need to get to the 40, and 4th down, and we're going to get a timeout on the field. A helmet came off. Speaking of the Bears, what a win for them last night. Tom Brady forgot it was 4th down.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's
had a guy wide open at the 1st down marker, didn't throw it to him, took a shot down the field. He that could have been the difference in the game. Bears will take it though. Bears haven't had an easy win so far this year.
Well, when you work hard for them, you appreciate them more. So now Avon apparently going to punt. It's a high kick, and it's bounces just inside the 40, fielded on a hop at about the 32. But anyway, I was watching like one of those NFL films, Super Bowl reviews, and it showed this play. And, of course, about the only good thing that New England did in the game was contain Walter Payton, who only went 22 of 61, did not score a touchdown. Payton was, I'd say, a little bit past his prime then, but he was still, well above average, among running backs. And it showed this one play where Jim McMahon faked the handoff to Payton, and 5 Patriots went after Payton, who did not have the ball. And one of the Bears in the video said he wonders if the Patriots had a plan for anything other than stopping Walter Payton in that game, which it would seem they didn't. But anyway, and now fakes the handoff, and Stone takes it himself. I believe he's got the 1st down.
Yeah, big hole there outside that didn't get containment on the end that time, Leck, and it ended up being a big hole over there. The Patriots scored first in that game?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because Payton fumbled on the first play from scrimmage, and then the Patriots got the field goal. But then, by halftime, I think it was 27-3 or something like that.
Yeah, that was the last time they scored until the end of the game.
Right, yeah. And if I remember correctly, I think New England had like 3 or 4 yards rushing in the whole game. I mean, it was single digits. I remember that. Maybe it was 7, but it was below 10. I remember that part.
Well, and it's back to pass now, flushed out, and Stone will take the hit. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Eason was the starting quarterback for the Patriots. He is is it the dad of Jacob Eason?
Probably. I've never looked. I would say it's a good possibility. Yeah, Eason, the worst performance by a starting quarterback in Super Bowl history.
I may have imagined that.
He did not have a completed pass. His backup, Steve Grogan, piled up a few passing yards late in the game. So now 3rd and 2 for the Eagles, trying to stay within this game. They can tie with the touchdown in the 2. Both quarterbacks had a few good rushes in the game, and the play whistle dead here with 4:14 to go here in the third quarter. Avon scored a touchdown in their first 2 possessions, but have been shut out since. And, boy, I'll tell you, that's bad for Zionsville. They got a delay of game there.
Oh, he is the son of former Notre Dame receiver Tony Eason. He is not related to the Patriots quarterback. So his dad is Tony Eason.
But a different Tony
Eason.
Okay.
Eason.
Okay,
so I was
got
half
you.
right. I knew his dad's name was Tony Eason.
All right, okay. So 3rd and 7 at the 36 now for the Eagles. Boy, that's potentially fatal to go from 3rd and 2 to 3rd and 7. If Zionsville loses, that's got to be a play you circle. And now Stone throws on the right side, and it is.
Flag flies in late. It looked like real nice coverage on the far side of the field, but a flag came in late. That's going to be an interference probably.
Yeah, which would be at least the 5th pass interference. And to me, that's the number one thing that Avon has to work on over these next 3 weeks until that big showdown with Brownsburg to open up the playoffs. 4:09 to go now here in the third quarter. We're coming at you live here from Hendricks Regional Health Stadium on the campus of Avon High School. Our 14th consecutive season of bringing you the Avon Orioles here on AudioSportsOnline.com. My name is Lex Zorn, joined by Rob Kindle. It's an honor and a pleasure to have you with us. So very good break there for Zionsville when they were facing 3rd and 7 because of that delay of game penalty. Now they have the ball in Avon territory at the 49 and a fresh set of downs. So Stone takes it, gives it to Price. They nail him right at the line of scrimmage. So an even 4 minutes to go. The game now 2/3 of the way done here. We've had Price's number for most of the game. They gave him credit for 2 here, which looks to me like a fairly generous spot. 2nd and 8 now for Zionsville at the Avon 47. So now, drops back to pass, gets rid of it, screen pass complete, and he gets up for about 5 yards. So, that was Cox. Yeah, go
Well,
ahead.
one thing Stone's done a nice job of tonight, Leck, is he has showed a lot of patience and really did that again that time, let that play develop, and picked up the yardage as a result.
Oh, yeah, he's played a pretty smart game, and they give him credit for 5 on that one on the pass to Cox. And I've got him completing 16 of 22 passes. Most for short gains, but, he's, no interceptions. And now the Avon getting into this, cheering on their defense on 3rd and 3. Stone drops back to pass, throws up the middle, and it is incomplete. Just a little bit off target. Firestone, the intended receiver. That'll bring up a very critical 4th and 3 now for Zionsville.
Yeah, this really is a big play for them, and, of course, decision time here on 4th and 3. If you don't get it, you give the ball to Avon in great field position.
Yes, but Zionsville, if they do get it, they will have a chance to score a touchdown and make it.
And what a change in the game. There's no doubt, even probably 5 or 6 years ago, you would punt here, but, man, the game has changed.
Indeed, yes. And now screen pass, and it is.
Oh, what a spot.
Did he get it?
He got it.
My
He
God.
caught it. It was number 1 on the far side of the field, Cox. And what a spot from that ref.
Yeah.
No homer accusations tonight because that was a generous spot.
Yeah, they've gotten 2 or 3 spots that I consider to be generous. But nevertheless, it was a heck of a job by Cox getting down there. I didn't think he was going to get it. And Cox did have the touchdown also. Zionsville's only points so far. The extra point failed. Or the 2-point conversion failed by Vinatieri, who attempted to run it in after the bad snap. So now throws down field to the end zone, but just a little bit overthrown. Bringing up 2nd and 10 for the Eagles at the Avon 39. 2:05 to go here in the third quarter.
.205, as you said, Leck, left to go, and Zionsville's just been chipping away at it here in the second half in this third quarter.
Yeah, and Avon's just, they've just stalled on offense. But like I said, one good thing about it is it is forcing Avon's defense to come through, and they have come through for most of the game tonight. And now a handoff, and no.
Incomplete drop pass was intended that time for number 88, Reed Wesley. He was open, and he probably should have caught that. That was a pretty good pass.
Yeah, and great fake on the handoff, too. Second Scott Amore caliber fake tonight. But anyway, going back to that Bears Super Bowl, that's another change that the NFL's made. I mentioned Steve Grogan, New England's backup quarterback, finishing out that game for the Patriots. And, hold that thought. So now Zionsville, 3 receivers out to the left. And now Stone takes it, drops it back. He's got some time. He takes it himself, and he's got the first down and more inside the 25. So Josh Stone, a heck of a game on the ground to help keep the Eagles alive. He picks up about 15 there, 1:53 to go here in the third quarter. Avon 14, Zionsville 6. The Eagles can tie with a touchdown and a successful 2-point conversion.
Yeah, it's interesting. We've talked all year long about how the offense has been great. It's been the defense that has kind of struggled. And tonight, the offense has really been held in check. The defense has done pretty good up until now. But would it be pretty good or pretty well? Pretty well.
Yeah.
Pretty well up until now.
Yep. I'll tell you, it's got to be so hard for foreigners to learn English because, there's so many irregularities. But anyway, and now we got a flag here. And
pass was complete. 11, Luke Baumgartner on the catch. We'll see what the flag is.
And Baumgartner is actually the leading receiver on the season coming into tonight, but that would be his first reception if it counts, which, they count it. So a gain of 10 yards there, and Baumgartner finally does get his first catch. So now they hand it off to Price, and he stopped dead in his tracks, as he has been for most of the game. And, that's the way that we've contained him. And keep in mind, he averages about 6 yards a carry on the season, 6 touchdowns. And we've really held him for a lot of 0 to negative yardage gains tonight. We stopped him for no gain there. I have him 15 for 20 on the game now. So 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Stone takes it, and now he's got time. Thinks about running it. Now rolls over to the right, and he does rush it, and he gets out for about 2 or 3. Let's see what kind of spot he gets.
Both of these quarterbacks have done a great job tonight. Heston the same as Stone, really making something out of nothing, finding holes in the defense and being able to scramble for positive yardage.
Oh, yes, indeed. So, and now they give let's see what kind of spot. So they give Stone credit for 2 yards there. I have him 10 for 40. So now we've got, we've got Baumgartner and 1 other receiver to the left, 2 other receivers to the right. Price the running back. Stone in shotgun, 47 seconds to go in the quarter. The snap, throws into the end zone, and it's through his hands.
Yeah, had a man just a little bit overshot. That was 88 again that time, Wesley, and he was open, but just a little bit high on the throw, couldn't come down with the ball.
So 4th and 8, big decision time for the Eagles. This would be a 30-yard field goal. Vinatieri missed from, I believe it was 37 in the first quarter. I think they're going to go for it. A field goal would make it 14-9. And a field goal would make some sense here if you think your kicker can do it. But they're going for it. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. And now we got a timeout. We got a timeout. So Zionsville takes its first timeout of the quarter, of the half, excuse me. So with 43 seconds to go here in the third quarter at Avon, your score, Avon 14, Zionsville 6. Each team at 3-4 trying to close out the regular season with some momentum. This is game 8 of 9 in the regular season, and the playoffs start 3 weeks from tonight for all of Class 6A and most of Class 5A. But what I was saying, though, is that, back in the old days, that 85 Super Bowl took place before free agency. And it reminds me of the day where where typically, you would be drafted as a quarterback. Usually the team already had a starter, unless there was a really awful situation, on your team. You did not start as a rookie, and you would work your way up gradually to be the starting quarterback, and then when you became the starting quarterback, the previous starter would become the backup, and he would, close out his career for a few years as your backup, and that was just the standard, focus. And now, as it is now, you have a lot of, quarterbacks the last few years of their career, they just go jumping from team to team about once every year or two. So it's very different, and there are both pros and cons about it. But anyway, so now back to action here. 4th and 8, Zionsville going for it, trailing by 8, 43 seconds to go in the third quarter. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Fans stomping on the bleachers here, somebody blowing a horn. Stone throws into the end zone. Touchdown! So the Eagles now a 2-point conversion away from tying it. And that was Firestone there. So 2-point conversion coming up to try to tie it. 37 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Barn burner of a game it's turned out to be when it was 14-0 in the first quarter. I thought we might end up getting to a running clock, but you got to give the Eagles all the credit in the world for coming back strong. Josh Stone playing a very good game tonight, and Trey Firestone now 8 receptions very quietly, although a little less quietly now that he has the score. So now the 2-point conversion is no good, so Avon does retain the lead. It looked like they were trying to find Hartwig in the end zone. Or I couldn't tell if it was Hartwig or Firestone. I can't tell if it's 15 or 19 from the view I got of it. But nevertheless, Avon does retain the lead. That's the most important part. 37 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Now what we got to do, we got to get a score in the next possession. We do not want Zionsville with the momentum having the ball with a chance to take the lead with even a field goal. So we got to do something with the ball here. I remember going back to the Hamilton Southeastern game back in week 3. We dropped down up 25-0, came back to take the lead 28-25. Unfortunately, seemed to run out of gas in doing so, and Hamilton Southeastern closed out the game with 2 late touchdowns to get a 39-25 win. But what this is a reminder of, the offense has got to be running on all cylinders the whole game. And, one good thing about this game being close is that the Avon rushing defense has really played maybe its best game of the season tonight. But it's, the passing defense that struggled, especially in at least 5 pass interference penalties. That's something that they got to clean up these next 3 weeks before the playoffs start.
We were doing real good on time, and this third quarter's crawled along.
Yes. And now kickoff taken inside the 10 on a hop, brought up to the 25, 30, 35. And it cuts over toward the middle of the field, up to the 40. Now it brought down to about the 41 or 42, so pretty good field position for the Orioles to start this drive with just a little over a quarter to play to hang on to this 2-point lead here. Well, both of these teams entered this game at 3-4 and having played mostly the same schedule all season, so it's appropriate that we got a close game here. But it's too close to comfort, though, for us. Avon people. So now Avon, 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Jones, the running back. Hessen in shotgun, playing his final regular season home game. And now the pass is deflected. The intended receiver was Stovall there.
But you just feel like all the momentum is on the Avon, on the Zionsville side right now.
Yes, it is. And, the last time I commentated Zionsville was 4 years ago, one of the top 2 or 3 games probably that I've ever commentated. Hold that thought. But now 25 seconds to go in the quarter. 2 receivers to each side now with the 1 running back. Hessen takes the snap, drops back. He's pressured, and they got him for a sack. Oh, no.
And that's probably going to bring about the end of the third quarter.
Yeah, might as well just let it run down. Yeah, 12 seconds, and doesn't look like they're in any hurry to and that's going to be a loss of about 8 yards there. And that's it. So, barn burner of a finish coming at you here at Avon. Your Orioles leading 14-12, trying to hang on and get the win here on AudioSportsOnline.com.
Avon Orthodontics, the office of Greg Johnson and Nick Broussard, has been creating great smiles since 1995. And Andy Moore has you covered for all of your automotive needs. New, used, parts, or service. Go to andymore.com where you get more for your money. And BSN Sports is a proud sponsor and official provider of uniforms, apparel, spirit wear, and equipment for Avon Athletics. And Chick-fil-A Avon. Order on the app and skip the lines. Download Chick-fil-A One today. And are you in need of screen or print embroidery? Visit us online at lmspiritgear.com. And Avon Oral Surgery would like to wish all Avon athletes good luck this year. Go Orioles! The Beacon Sign Company, the official sign company for Avon Sports. Hungry? How about BJ's Restaurant Avon? Come visit us after the game for pizza and bazookies. Proud sponsor of Avon Athletics. Go Orioles! And please remember to call Fry Electric for all your electrical needs. And Harmony of Avon, loving people and sharing hope together. Experience more at harmonyofavon.com.
Well, back here at Avon, we got a thriller of a finish coming at you. We're about to start the fourth quarter here with Avon leading Zionsville 14-12 here on AudioSportsOnline.com. The Orioles now have the ball, 3rd and 18 at their own 34 following an 8-yard sack against Orioles quarterback Henry Hessen playing his final regular season road game. So, very big play coming here.
Out of the gun.
Snap, low snap, but he gets it. Throws up the middle. He's got it, and it's inside the 30. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Boy, did we need that in the worst way. A 36-yard gain there. Oh, my God. I believe that was that Stovall?
Yeah, it was Wallace Stovall. He dropped that snap. It was a low snap. He dropped it, picked it right back up, saw the lineman coming at him, and just threw a perfect bullet. Stovall caught it on the run. Great catch, first down, Avon.
Let's get the touchdown, get the extra point, make it a 2-possession game, put this thing away. Oh, my God, did we need that. And that really got the crowd into it. So 3 receivers to the left now, 1 to the right. 1 running back. Hessen in shotgun, takes it. Hands off to Jones this time. He's got some room over the left side, inside the 30, inside the 25, and he's going to be close to the first down, brought down about the 21 or the 22. So the clock ticking, 11:15 to go in the game. Avon with a 2-point lead, trying to make it a 2-possession game again. 9 yards there by Jaden Jones. So 2 receivers to the left now, 1 to the right. 2nd and 1 for the Orioles at the 21 of Zionsville. Takes it, hands off to Jones. Runs up the middle, now he's over to the right side. He's going to get the first down, and he's brought down about the 18. So a couple of good runs by Jaden Jones. Moves the chains again, 10:34 to go.
Yeah, and obviously the goal here, Leck, is to get it in the end zone, as you said, because, well, that's always the goal, but it'll make it a 2-possession game if you can add that extra point.
Yeah, that's right. And remember, Sam Miller, 21 for 22 on the season, so the prospects of that, very good if we get the score. So,
and the inability to connect on those extra points and the missed field goal tonight could be the undoing of Zionsville.
Yes, indeed, yeah. So 3 receivers to the left, now 1 to the right. Now pitch back there to Jones over on the left side. He's inside the 15, inside the 10. So he's going to be very close to, it's going to be close to another first down. So Jaden Jones now doing some of his best rushing of the game, and with an even 10 minutes to go.
Yeah, they tried to establish that run early in the ball game, Leck, and just weren't real successful. But as the game has worn on, they've been able to really run the football effectively.
Yes, that's right. 2nd and 1 now at the 10 for the Orioles. 9:42 to go. Got to get a score here. We got to finish the job. We have not finished the job on offense since the first quarter. So now, handoff to Jones. This time they're right on top of him. He only gets about 1 or 2.
And clock possession key for the Orioles here, too. Obviously, they want to get it in the end zone, but the more time they can run, especially if they get that touchdown, the better off they're going to be.
Yeah, that's right. So, if you take a couple more minutes off and then get the touchdown, all the better. So we do move the chains there. So Jaden Jones, he's rushed the last 4 plays, total of 22 yards. He's got his first and goal at the 8. So, snap, throws into the end zone. Touchdown!
We were blocked out there by the press box window. Who caught it, Lex?
That was Stovall again. So after Stovall gets it, that 36-yard, spectacular 36-yard reception when it was 3rd and 18. Now he gets the 8-yard touchdown pass from Hessen. And now we're a Sam Miller extra point away from making it a 2-possession lead again with 8:57 to go in the game. So, very big extra point here. That would make it a 9-point game and really force Zionsville to, that'd really put Zionsville, on the hot seat. The kick is up, and it is good.
It was a low kick, but it got through.
So Sam Miller, 3 for 3 on the night, 22 for 23 on the season. And now Avon looks like they're in pretty good shape here with 8:57 to go in the game, and they got a 2-possession lead by the slimmest of margins, 9 points. But, man, boy, did we ever need that jolt. And it's been a mixed game for Avon, more good than bad. The offense has started and finished strong, a little sluggish in between. The rushing defense has been very good. The passing offense has been a little shaky. But, we've responded well to the pressure after Zionsville cut it to 2. After we scored so easily the first 2 possessions, I thought we might have another running clock game. Nevertheless, Avon looks like they're headed for their 3rd victory in 4 games now to even the record at 4-4, heading into what should be an easy win against Noblesville next week. In fact, Noblesville, probably one of our 2 worst opponents of the season, along with Franklin Central. But we'll see. Nevertheless, Hessen and Stovall both came alive in a big way on that drive. And they deserve all the credit in the world for it. Hessen with 3 passes, 3 touchdowns tonight. And Stovall with 3 receptions, 2 of them coming for touchdowns, 1 from 74 yards. And Jaden Jones, you got to give him a lot of credit. He had 4 carries on that drive for a total of 22 yards to help us get into position to get that touchdown. So it's been a team effort tonight. A lot of guys with efforts to feel proud of. So 8:57 to go here in the game. (21-12) your score. 8:57. Avon kicking off now from the 35. Deep kick now, fielded at about the 3, brought up to the 5, 10, 15, 20, and plows forward, gets a yard or 2 after contact, stopped it around the 30 to 22 or 23. So now Zionsville needs 2 scores here. One of them can be a field goal. Nevertheless, things looking a lot better for Avon than they did a couple of minutes ago. After Avon, after Zionsville scored those 2 touchdowns in a row to cut the lead from 14-0 to 14-12, and Avon, had not scored since the first quarter, I started to get concerned. But, when it was, you got to give Avon all the credit in the world. I mean, the game really turned on that play when they were down at their own 34, 3rd and 18, and they came through with that 36-yard pass from Hessen to Stovall. And now Stone fakes, and he's got a gain here of about 14 yards, but we got a flag here. Could be holding against Zionsville, which means it would be negated. Yes. So 8:42 to go now. The clock stopped, and that penalty is going to wipe out what would have been about a 16-yard gain there for Josh Stone, who's had a very good game for the Eagles. Really, the player of the game for Zionsville, in my opinion, tonight. So with 8:42 to go now, the clock, the ball backed up now to the 12. So first, now is Zionsville, 1st and 20. They have come through under pressure with some big offensive plays when it looked bleak for them tonight, so don't count them out yet. But now, pitch back, and he's got some room on the left side. I believe that's Price there, and he takes it up for about 5 or 6 yards. So that'll be second down and about 16, or about 2nd and 15 for the Eagles, 8:03 to go. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Drops back and throws deep up the middle. He's got a man open. It is caught, and he could go all the way. One man to beat. 35, 30, 25, 20, 15. No, he's going to go all the way. Oh, my God, 85 yards there. Oh, my God, and now Zionsville's back in at 7:42 to go. A 3-point game now. That was to Trey Firestone, undoubtedly the best wide receiver for Zionsville tonight. Wow, coming through on 2nd and 15. So 7:42 to go. And now Zionsville going for an extra point tonight. A.J. Vinatieri missed a field goal attempt tonight, but going for the extra point here. He's primarily Zionsville's punter, not usually their field goal kicker. But this kick is up, and it is good. So with 7:42 to go in the game, now Avon starting to breathe a little harder again. So they've got 7:42 to run out. They got to keep moving the offense the way they did on the last play. But, man, what an incredible, incredible play there. Josh Stone going deep to Trey Firestone for 85 yards. And I'll give Firestone a lot of credit. I mean, an Avon defender almost had him, but he, used some fancy footwork there. He used some fancy footwork there to elude the defender and take it all the way. So we could be going down to the wire after all. 9:16 your time of day. If I remember correctly, 2 weeks ago in the last Orioles home game, that easy win over Fishers where we went to the running clock, I think the game ended like 9:12 or something like that. It's amazing how fast the clock runs out in our running clock. I know from my few experiences with that. I've commentated, this is my 97th varsity game that I've commentated, and I think I have done about 4 that ended with running clocks. Of course, they didn't instate the mandatory running clock rule until last year. Before that, it had to be by mutual consent of the head coaches. So, I'll tell you after the momentum we received on our last possession with the 36-yard pass from Hessen to Stovall on 3rd and 18, and then the touchdown, I thought we had the game pretty well wrapped up. But now Avon on the return though, up to the 35, 40, 45, and now he might get it up right to the 50. That was Jaden Jones there. So now with three all 3 timeouts and having the ball in excellent field position, we can be very conservative here. And now the Orioles take over in Eagle territory at the 49 here. Three touchdown passes tonight for Josh Stone, who was averaging just about 150 yards a game on the season. And now, handoff to Jones. He's got some room on. No, he fakes. He throws it down to the left side, just overthrown there.
Had the man, just overshot him a little bit, as you said, Leck.
Yeah. Gall was the intended receiver. He has 2 receptions tonight for 42 yards and a touchdown. Nevertheless, Avon still in good shape. The only thing I don't like about that play is we only ran a few seconds off the clock. I really want us to try to milk it here. So now 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Jones, the running back, Hessen in shotgun. Hands off there, and they're right on top of him. Jones taken down right at the line of scrimmage. So now suddenly this puts Avon in a very critical possession, at a very critical stage. 3rd and 12 now with 7:09 to go. And if we don't convert this and Zionsville gets the ball back, they can take the lead on any score, even a field goal. We came through on 3rd and 18 last time. Let's see if we come through on 3rd and 12 now. 2 receivers to each side. Jones, the running back, Hessen in shotgun. 6:51 to go and counting. Hessen, screen pass, complete there, and Stovall's got it. He takes it up. He's going to be close to the first down. I assume we'll go for it here.
He launched that ball with his right hand, trying to get to the marker. It looks like he needed the 39. They're going to spot it right at the 40, so a 4th and 1.
That's right. So now 6:21 to go, 4th and 1. Let's get this yard and then milk a lot more of the clock. Nevertheless, a great play by Stovall, great effort. And now we got a whistle here. And I believe, Avon just took its first timeout with 6:10 to go. So at that, let's all catch our breaths here with 9:20 to go.
The team at Bailey Family Dental is always warm and friendly, wanting to take care of all your dental needs from ages 1 to 100. Dr. Bailey and his staff provide excellent dental care without fear or concern. We at Bailey Family Dental would like to wish all athletic teams good luck. Head to Ralph's Muffler and Brake Shop, located next to Lowe's on Dan Jones Road. It's first come, first serve for your free estimate. Visit Ralph's Muffler and Brake Shop for all your car care needs. And Mosquito Joe's, we help you ditch the itch and make outside fun again. 317-350-1131. Go Orioles. And supporting Avon Athletics for over 20 years, Steve and Debbie Larkin and their family are proud to be Avon alumni. Everyone at Larkin Collision wishes the Avon Orioles good luck.
Yes, and again, double thanks to our sponsors this year, for making sure that not only we had a season, but that we're able to bring the season to you for free. One of the, I would guess probably even more scarce among the 6A schools. I know that a lot of other schools are charging for their broadcast this year, but thanks to our sponsors, we are bringing you these games for free, and they will be archived forever on the internet for you to enjoy anytime throughout the years. So now, big play, 4th and 1. This is huge for the Zionsville defense, who's trying to stay alive here. Avon if they just get the 1 yard here, then they're in the driver's seat. If not, then we're going to have a tense finish. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Hessen takes it, throws up the middle. It's dropped. Zionsville takes over, 6:06 to go. 60 yards shy of the end zone.
Interesting play call that time. They had the 4th and short. They'd run the ball pretty well here in recent possessions and elected to go back to the air that time. He had the guy open, just couldn't hang on to it.
Yeah, on the last possession, Jaden Jones actually rushed the ball 4 consecutive plays and got the ball down from the 30 to the 8, setting up that touchdown pass from Hessen to Stovall. That gave us the 2-possession lead back along with Sam Miller's extra point. So now the defense really better rise to the occasion. I'll tell you, though, Rob, as much as I don't like that Zionsville is still in the game here, this is a great test for the defense. Now it's the defense's responsibility to win this game right here. So 2 receivers to the left, 1 running back, fakes the handoff, throws over, and they're right on top of him. Yes, outstanding. Cox caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and we nailed him. So great start to the drive. The clock keeps ticking, 5:53 to go and counting. Now they got him even for a 1 yard loss, all even better. Yep. So that certainly has us breathing a little bit easier. But remember, their last possession, they got an 85-yard touchdown pass. So let's not let our guard down. So now, fakes the handoff, screen pass, and yes, and another tackle for a loss. So 2 consecutive completions there by Stone, but 2 consecutive losses. All right. So now we've got him in a 3rd and long. And that on the reception there for Zionsville, that was Price, the leading rusher on the season. Stone has thrown 31 passes tonight by my count. So now, fans stopping on the bleachers here. We got to get this stop here at 3rd and 11. It would be devastating to lose it here under 5 minutes to go. Zionsville still with all, and now we're rushing him, and we got him for a sack. Yes, yes. So now 4th and long, and it looks like Avon's going to get out of here with the win. I'd imagine Zionsville will probably go for it on here, but certainly Avon's defense having risen to the occasion in a big way. 3 plays, -8 yards, and the punting unit is coming out. Now, this is very high risk for Zionsville because Avon could easily run out the clock, each team with 2 timeouts left.
Yeah, you got to weigh the odds. What do you got a better chance of, picking up 18 yards or getting the ball back? And I think they've decided they've got a better chance based on how this defense has played to get the ball back with those 2 timeouts left.
I'm surprised, though, after that 85-yard pass on the last possession, but nevertheless, Vinatieri, one of the best punters in the state, gets it away. It bounces at about the 31, takes an Avon bounce, and Zionsville downs it around the 35 or 36. So now Avon, 3:52 to go. Let's just milk the clock like a cow. Put this one away.
Basically, they got to get 2, maybe 3 first downs, depending on how they spread it out.
Yep. So, and what I'd say give the ball to Jaden Jones. See how he does with it. If it's like 3rd and long, you got to pass, then so be it. But let's see how Jaden does. See if he, give him a couple of carries. See if he can, move the chains and keep the clock moving. So now, three receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Yeah, they give it to Jones. He takes it over to the left side looking for room. He's inside the 40 and brought to about the 42, so about a 7-yard pickup for Jaden Jones. Great start to the drive.
He really did a nice job running laterally that time, waiting for that hole to open. The defense did a pretty nice job of forcing him to stretch it out, but they couldn't get him to cut it back, and ultimately he was able to get enough that when he did cut it back, he had a hole there.
Yeah, that's right. So
this is a really big play here because, again, Zionsville with 2 timeouts left.
Yeah, that's right. So if we get this first down, then we can probably run it under 2 minutes.
They are Zionsville really stacking the box, really putting everybody up there, daring Avon to run the ball here, or daring Avon to throw the ball here, I should say. And let's see if Avon decides to do that. They're going to do an end around. It's Carmelo Mitchell. He's got some room, but nothing. And boy, he went out of bounds.
Oh no, yeah, that's this.
You've got to stay in bounds there because not only did he lose yardage, but he stopped the clock. It's a free timeout for Zionsville.
Yeah, that's a bad fundamental play. Carmelo Mitchell with his first play of the game. This is only his 5th game of the season, and now looks like we got some kind of injury here.
Yeah, there was a collision there on the sideline, and obviously anytime the chains are involved, you got to be real careful about that. So hopefully whoever it is okay.
Yeah, but the last time I commentated Zionsville, it's probably one of the 2 or 3 best games I ever commentated. It was 4 years ago when they played at Plainfield for the sectional championship, and it went down to the last play of the game. Zionsville was leading 33-28, and then Ben Slayton, Plainfield's superstar, then sophomore quarterback, threw into the end zone to a crowd of about 10 people, and it was about, I would say, it seemed like longer than this. It was probably about 5 seconds before the referee signaled, because I could not tell at all if anybody made the catch, but the referee ruled it incomplete. And it was a heartbreaking loss for Plainfield. But yeah, that was a thriller of a game and a great win for the Eagles. And so now we got is that Mitchell?
Yeah, it was Carmelo Mitchell.
So Mitchell was hurt on the play, and certainly after Jones made it 2nd and 3. You hate now to put it in what's going to be about let me see, 3rd and. I haven't. The referee has not set the ball yet. And in fact, it looks like they're deliberating about what the spot is going to be. So they give Mitchell credit for no gain there on his first rush. The superstar wide receiver last year has played a much more limited role this year as a senior. So now 2:56 to go, 3rd and 3. And I'll tell you, if Plainfield gets this conversion, then, we're in the driver's seat. But, if I think we got to at least try to make Zionsville use both of their timeouts on this possession. But anyway, second, so 2 receivers to the left now. Jones, 2 receivers to each side. Jones, the running back, Hessen in shotgun. 5 on the play clock. Now, fakes the handoff. And he's got a man open, and he's got to go all the way for the touchdown. Yes, we're going to win it. Oh, my God, I believe that's Stovall. 58 yards for the score.
What a perfectly executed pitch and catch. As we said, Zionsville had stacked the box. They were anticipating a run. They were daring Avon to throw it. He did, and a perfect pass and a perfect catch, and stayed on his feet.
Yeah. So now, well, actually, it's not wrapped up yet. It's still a 1-possession game with the conversion pending. If Sam Miller hits this extra point, then it's back to a 2-possession game with 2:49 to go, and we virtually clinched it. That's 58 yards from Hessen to Stovall. The 3rd time that duo has hooked up for a touchdown tonight. So Sam Miller, the extra point is up, and it's good. So Sam Miller, 4 for 4 tonight, 23 for 24 in the season. What a great senior season it's been for that young lady. I remember 3 years ago commentating her on the freshman team. She was, she had dead-eye accuracy on her extra points then 3 years ago. But I really wondered, if she would be able to make it on the varsity team, and she has. And what makes it even more amazing, this is like a 2A, 3A school. It's impressive, but, maybe you think, well, gee, they just don't have any other kickers at the school. But at a 3,000-student school, which I believe Avon is the 10th most populated school in the state, it's an amazing accomplishment. One of the best success stories for a girl ever in American high school football. And, my favorite Sam Miller story is not her kicking, though. It was, I believe it was 2 years ago. I'll have to find the game. It's still up there on YouTube. But anyway, Sam Miller actually did the kickoffs in this game, too. And by the way, to put this in perspective, at the time she was listed in the program at 5'1", 120, which is what she's listed as now. And the player on the opposing team got a really good run back, and there were 2 players to beat. One of them was, one of the guys on the team, and Sam Miller would have been the last person. And Sam actually got down in a stance to make a dive at the guy. And I would have been scared had she done that, as small as she is. But I admired her for having the courage to attempt it. And thankfully, she didn't need to. The guy before her, made the tackle. But that just shows how courageous that she was. So anyway, Sam Miller, playing her final high school home game, but not her final high school game. Once again, Avon will be back here at Hendricks Regional Health Stadium 3 weeks from tonight for a big showdown with Brownsburg to start off the playoffs. And now, the way that Avon's come alive here tonight, they might not be one and done in the playoffs. And if they can get past that first game, then they got a shot to get all the way to the semi-state. And then, then they would probably run into that brick wall known as Center Grove, who looks like nobody's going to touch this year, but we'll see. So the kickoff now down fielded at the 10, brought up to the 20, 25, and now up to the 24, or to 29, 29. So 2:43 to go. Zionsville with 2 timeouts, trailing by 9. They need 2 scores. They need a touchdown and a field goal. Doesn't matter what open. Doesn't matter what order they come in. So Zionsville, in a desperate situation. They've come through with a few big plays. They don't have, and that was one thing that really stood out for me when I was studying their statistics this morning. They don't have a statistically dominated player, but they have a lot of guys who are contributing solidly this year, and that makes their offense hard to shut down. So now 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right, and now I know we hit him and he gets rid of it, but he got hit in the process. So 2nd and 10 now, and there's some guy with some kind of horn. Robert, do you know what kind of musical instrument that is? Is that a trumpet?
No, I think
okay, just like a noisemaker. Okay, yeah. Hopefully it's not interfering with our broadcast. But nevertheless, looks like we're going to get out of here with the win tonight, which would mean, assuming that Avon holds on for the win, that means that they will have finished 3-1 in the games we commentated this season, and now a screen pass out of bounds after about a 7-yard gain there. No, they said incomplete. I thought Wesley was the intended receiver. I thought he held on to it, but sorry about that. Nevertheless, 3rd and 10, 2:32 to go. So 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right for Zionsville, running out of chances here. And now Stone throws deep down the left side into double coverage.
Picked off.
And it's intercepted. Only the 5th interception of the year for the Orioles. Who was that? So, yeah, what a heck of a game here for Avon. They had a great first quarter, great fourth quarter, not so great second and third. Hopefully next week they'll close out the regular season at Noblesville with 4 great quarters of football, and then have 2 great weeks of practice to get ready for the playoff opener. But this defense has come a long way this season. Although I want to say about Josh Stone, he threw an interception there, but it was a desperation situation. He has played a very good game. He's not the best quarterback I've ever commentated, but he's one of the hardest competitors and a very smart quarterback, so I look forward to seeing, he's a senior. Certainly looks like he's got a shot to play, college ball next year, maybe a Division III school. Certainly wish him all the best going forward. And Zionsville, they're basically a 5A team playing a 6A schedule. They won a 6A schedule next year, so certainly I think they have a good shot to do something in the 5A playoffs this year. They were a big underdog winner in the sectional last year, getting in the sectional that included the number 1 team in the state, this very Avon team, and then Brownsburg, who I believe was ranked number 2 or 3. Certainly in the top 10 somewhere. And now a roll around to the left side. He's got some room there, and he's brought down past the 40. So who was that? I couldn't tell who had the carry there, but nevertheless, it's going to be close to the first down there. Marked at the 42. So 3rd down and short, 1:21 to go, 2 timeouts. And Zionsville does take its 2nd timeout with 1:21 to go. So, anyway, a quick recap. Avon started off red hot with a 14-0 lead in the first quarter, then struggled to finish off drives, while Zionsville slowly crept back into it, scored a couple of touchdowns scored a couple of touchdowns, however, missed both conversions, making the score 14-12. Then when Avon had the ball 3rd and 8 at their own 36, 3rd and 18 at their own 36, and was 1 play away from putting the ball back to Zionsville to give the Eagles a chance to win. Henry Hessen came through on a 36-yard pass to Wallace Stovall that ended up leading to an 8-yard touchdown pass from Hessen to Stovall. Zionsville got back into it on an 85-yard pass from Josh Stone to Trey Firestone, but then Avon effectively put it away on a 58-yard touchdown pass from Hessen to Stovall, and now a first down here, and that should effectively end it.
What a great
the first down.
What a great run that time. He had the first down, and then he was paying attention enough to realize he was getting close to the out of bounds. Once he got to the first down marker, he literally cut the ball back and was able to go down. So he picked up that first down and stayed in bounds.
And with Zionsville now only one timeout left and 1:04 left in the game, that should do it. So I'd imagine Avon will just kneel at the clock from here. So anyway, 50 seconds to go. Avon will win the game 28-19 as Hessen kneels. Avon will win 28-19. Now they've won 3 of their last 4 after that 1-3 start. They evened the record at 4-4. And Zionsville, meanwhile, will drop to 3-5. Keep in mind, however, they're a 5A team that's played basically 6A teams almost all season. And Hessen now kneels out to the clock. So your final score here tonight at Avon, Avon 28, Zionsville 19. Avon now at 4-4, heading into next week's regular season finale at Noblesville. Should be an easy win that will give us a 5-4 winning record to end the regular season. Then 3 weeks from tonight, the Orioles return here to open the playoffs against Brownsburg. We do not know whether we will be broadcasting that game or not. We hope so. We will, keep you updated. Watch the Audio Sports Online page and the Avon Twitter feed for information about that game, about broadcasting and ticket information. But nevertheless, so thankful to be able to bring you at least the home portion of Avon's regular season schedule when we were afraid there wasn't going to be a season. It's been an honor and pleasure to bring these games to you, and we thank our sponsors, and we thank you, the fans. So many of you have watched this season, and we hope we've done justice to these exciting games.
All right, so great job, Leck, as always. Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me. It was just great to be here, as always. Here, Avon's my home away from home. Always love coming out here and commentating the Orioles, and hopefully, we'll be back in 3 weeks. But nevertheless, good luck to the Orioles the rest of the way, and hopefully we'll have a full load of games for the fans on the air next season like we do most years.
All right, so 28-19, our final. Avon moves to 4-4. We will keep you posted on whether we will be bringing you high school football in the postseason or not. We'll let you know as soon as we do. He's Lex Zorn. I'm Rob Kendall. Have yourself a great evening.